Hello, everybody.
Hey, hey,
Hi.
hey.
Hi. Hello, ladies. Okay,
Woo.
ladies. I want to introduce you, ladies. Most people know Regina from the Juice Radio and Talk Show. She is one of my favorite podcasters. Okay, she is indeed, and she's encouraged me to get into this too. So I've been excited about that. Most people, I'm sure, know Regina and know about her podcast. Go to her channel. Make sure you subscribe. Sandra, my good friend Sandra, she's been on here before. What you guys don't know about
Hi.
Sandra, which I want you to know, is Sandra has done. She's a counselor. She's done a lot of coursework as it relates to this particular issue.
Mm.
She's probably going to have some great insight on it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is we're going to talk
Mm.
about this a little bit more. I'm going to run through my intro real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll get the butter from the duck. Okay.
Oh,
I said the butter from the duck.
Yes,
All right.
Lord.
let's do that.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, my fabulous viewers. Welcome to Kim Delivers, the ultimate destination for commentary enthusiasts. I am Kimberly, your guide on this exciting journey, delivering you entertaining and informative content. Whether you're here for a dose of laughter, inspiring tips, or just good vibes, you've landed in the right spot. Hit that subscribe button and join our family. So buckle up and let's dive into the world of Kim Delivers together. Well, that was right. We need to buckle up for this right here.
We're
Okay.
going to have to.
We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have
Yes.
to, first of all, people said they need to buckle up because that girl actually had the audacity to have 50 parts to this whole thing. Okay.
Mm.
Let me
So
tell you.
tell me.
She was working that thing. She was like, if I ain't monetized yet, I'm about to get monetized. She wasn't playing.
Yes.
Playing.
She wasn't playing, was she?
Mm-mm.
She
Mm-mm.
was getting the butter from the duck on that one. So I don't know if many, her name is Risa Tisa. So I don't know if many have seen Risa Tisa's videos, but she's had quite a few. And she talks about how the title of it is WTF Did I Marry? So it's Who the F Did I Marry? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes in depth. She's very detailed too. So part of her 50, it could have been 25 slides to be truthful, but she's gonna tell you what the weather is outside and everything else. So that's part and parcel why they were so long. But they were. I mean, she even said that she told
Oh.
people about why she was so detailed in this whole thing, right? So I have a couple of clips in there, and she it was quite a few things that he had told her as it relates to how she had to deal with him and certain things. One of the things is when she confronted him. So I'm going to just show you this real quick, okay?
Mm.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Woman who I could not believe that even with the attempt of me trying to give him one last opportunity to tell me the truth, he still lied in my face.
Okay, so there was many attempts where she had tried to, and I'm gonna there's a couple of clips that I have here, okay? So I'm gonna be
Mm-hmm.
going through them. But there was quite a few attempts where she had tried to tell him exactly, you know, well, what's going on here? Because now, first off, he started off, they had met, and in all actuality, when they had met, he had they met online, okay? And when they met online, basically he had told her that he was in a on a football team. He came from California. He moved up here. He was getting his job. His job moved him up here, and basically what's happening is that now he's trying to find a place because he's living in the studio, and they were going to go out to lunch or dinner, and he wanted to know what was her favorite place. Her favorite place was Cheesecake Factory, and then in addition to that, they met. Okay, so she was concerned about how he wanted to look and stuff like that. And on the way going there, she had a flat tire. And so then when she had the flat tire, she had to call him at the gas station, tell him, "Oh, I had a flat tire. I'm not going to be able to make it." He said, "You stay right there." He came, he fixed her flat, got it all taken care of. They went and had dinner, and then they talked about everything because he talked more than her. You know, she was just so enamored of her man who can really communicate. And then they got into a car and he brought up a song. I don't know if it was John Legend's song or whose song it was, but it was a song, and it says, it was an Usher song, somebody's song, and he says, "Oh, I want you to be my wife." And it just so happened that that song came on, and she was like, "Oh my God, this must be the one." Okay.
Mm,
So
mm.
when it came down to it, here, hold on a second. Um, she had said that, let me see here, her shocking experience with deception. Then I'm gonna
So
pull off.
she met how long? Now I let me tell y'all for all the viewers and hey everybody over there on my channel. Thank y'all for being here today too. And remember,
The
come over here to
woman
Kim's
who
channel and subscribe to her channel too now.
I could not
Thank
believe
you.
that even with the attempt of me trying to give him one last opportunity to tell me the truth, he still lied in my face.
Okay, ladies, hold on. Let me come back because I'm gonna bring this one down because I need to.
Mm-mm.
I don't care. She has so many of them, you all. Bear with
Yeah.
me. She has so many of them that I'm getting some of these.
Hey y'all, I see y'all there. Hey Dustin. Hey Shay B. Hey, in my opinion.
Hey, I'm
Hey
gonna get to
Bianca.
those and
Hey
pull them
Latoya.
up.
Hey 88. Yeah, this, you
You
know what, the
are.
first part, while you pulling that up,
Yeah, you
Kim,
go
I
right
wanna
ahead.
say the first part is they met online. They're saying that they met online. And
Right, that's what I said. Mm-hmm.
a lot of people are doing that, but you know, you have to do extra homework when you meet people online because there can be so much deception that people put in these descriptions of who they are, where they come from. So anytime you meet somebody online, you got to do that added work. I mean, Sandy, what would you say while she's bringing that up?
I agree 100% because
Mhm.
now social media is like a platform for these people with these different type of disorders.
Mhm.
And what I definitely tell the women, just be mindful. The little things that you see on there are red flags. You just got to know, be able to identify those red flags. For
Yep.
instance, I'll speak of my own experience. If you see a man who's constantly on social media boasting and bragging about what they have, that man doesn't have that. You know why? Because the way I was taught, when a man is building his empire, he's doing the work, he doesn't have time to be telling anybody, anyone about what he's doing. So,
Mm.
first red flag, why is he on social media every day? And it sounds like they're bragging and boasting, but the narcissist is not actually bragging. The narcissist is doing that so he can get, he or she can get attention. They
Mm.
could live off of that. They crave that attention and that
Mm.
validation. So what it
Mm.
seems like bragging, they really looking for the supply to get their need and stuff.
Ooh.
But again, that should be the first red flag. No
Right.
man, I don't care what color he is, if he's
Mhm.
building his empire and he's making those moves, he is not
Mhm.
going to be on social media telling his
Yeah.
business. He don't have time for it.
Kim,
So
you just let us know when you're ready. Now,
I'm
in my
almost
opinion,
there. You guys go right ahead.
in my
okay.
opinion, said he was on two different dating sites. One he used
See?
with his name, and the other his nickname. Ooh, ooh, ooh,
Mhm.
ooh.
Flag number two, red flag number two.
Yep. But if she didn't
Yeah,
know that,
Yes,
that's
he
a whole nother
was.
thing.
yeah. Because she found
Oh,
out later on about the second one, didn't she?
mm,
It
mm,
wasn't right, at the same time. I think
She
she
found
found out a
out
little
she
later
knew
on.
both about the second one. I
Okay.
do believe
mm.
she knew about both of them in all actuality. I think she
Mm-hmm.
did. Let's see here.
And I saw that there's another ex-wife that has come out speaking against this guy as well.
I think I saw that, but I didn't listen to
Was
it.
the sexiest thing in the
Mhm.
world. And then he proceeds to say, "Hey, I found a tire place around the corner."
Can you guys hear it?
Yeah, I can.
Mhm.
You were okay. Here, I'm gonna go back to it then.
Yeah, we can hear, but she froze.
No, stop
You
it.
need
You
to
should
get
find
another
out.
tire. Like, you can't drive on this donut. So he followed me to um the tire
So
place,
you got her tire.
and then helped me get a tire, paid for it. So I was definitely like, wow. And so the vibe was good. So anyway, I get the tire fixed. We
So
follow
we
each
got through
other to
that
the
part.
Cheesecake
Let me
Factory
get this right here.
over
Mhm.
in Perimeter. We hold hands walking.
So she's excited because he bought her a
Okay, now wait a
tire.
minute.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, mm, mm.
Not
I
even
like how
listed on the mortgage. Like, from the paperwork I saw, it was only in his name. So he called him. I guess they talked. I was not there, um, but I'm assuming that they had talked. So the boyfriend is coming, my ex is coming home saying, "Yeah, I talked to so and so. I sent him over the paperwork. The offer was approved, and they are going to try to do."
Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna fast forward and get you guys in here. Okay, on this. So now the dating stuff doesn't matter. All right. So the bottom line is that they went out to dinner and it moved fast. 2 months he was living with her. All right.
wait,
So basically, what happened was they went out to dinner. They really liked each other. Yes, they did.
Okay, when
Two
they was
months.
living together,
Because what
when
happened
they were
was,
when they were living together, were they living in her place
after
or
the
his
dinner,
place? But
I'm
were
getting
they
ready to tell you that
living?
now. They sure did because what happened was COVID came. Okay.
Oh.
So she had a 3 bedroom townhouse. He had a studio. He actually lived in the studio. She had a 3 bedroom townhouse. So then they were seeing each other and all the rest of it. Most of the time, he was spending time over her house. COVID came. And he was like, well, we might as well not even do this like this. I might as well just come on over to your place. All right. So what had happened was he was like, yeah, let's do that. He started paying for all the bills and all the rest of that. He was like, I'm going to get you a house. Okay. So, I got this, I have this pre-approval letter that I got from Chase. Okay. Now, what it was is the pre-approval letter. He had showed her the pre-approval letter. All right. But he said he was going to look for the house himself. All right. Now, this is 2 months after they got together. All righty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he was looking for a house, and the houses were big. And then he even decided to go over the $700,000 that she was approved for. That's what she was talking about. That he showed her that letter, right? So on that
Mm-hmm.
letter, basically, when you go to look at the letter, you see, and I have that one right up here too as well. You'll see on that letter, in all actuality, that it looks like it was printed from way back when. Okay, and this is the letter.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, because I hadn't seen the letter, and I was saying I wanted to do. Were there dates on that
Mr.
letter?
McCoy,
Did she
we
say
are delighted
anything
to
about a
inform you
date?
that your recent application for
Here
a
it is.
home loan with Chase Bank has been approved.
Mm,
Congratulations on taking this significant step towards home ownership. After careful
mm.
review of your application and financial details, we are pleased to offer you a loan amount of $700,000 for the purchase of your home. We understand that finding the right property is an important decision, and we are committed to assisting you throughout this process. Your approval is a testament to your sound financial standing and credit worthiness, and we are confident that you will manage your financial responsibility. As you prepare to embark on this exciting journey, please feel free to reach out to our dedicated team of mortgage specialist representatives for any questions or if you need further assistance. We look forward to helping you secure your dream home and being a trusted partner in your home ownership journey. Best regards, Reggie Daniels, Loan Officer, Chase Bank.
But I didn't
Okay, so
see a
let's
date
start
on
right
that
there.
letter.
There
I
was
didn't
no
see a
There
date
date.
was
on
no,
it.
There
See,
was
red
no date.
flag, but
Red flag, no date. There was no email. You can contact me at certain
mhm.
times or anything like that. Okay. So she went and she looked for these houses and everything. She went and the first time around, she didn't look for him, just like she was saying in that one that I sent you this one. She didn't go look for him. He said he was going to do it, right? And then he had her
Mm-hmm.
all excited. All right. So I'm going to let her tell
Mm-hmm.
you a little bit more about that. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Do a virtual closing. First, we got to do an inspection. If the inspection goes all well, then we have to do a virtual closing. He also told me that he put down earnest money on the home. He put down, I believe, 5,000. He said, I just transferred the money over to the realtor's account or whatever, so that it could be earnest money for the house. So I'm just like, okay, great. He was like, so realistically, this is April. We should be able to get in that house by June.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no problem. So this is what he told me. About 3 or 4 days later, I get a phone call from the realtor, and the realtor is like, "Hey, I'm just checking to see what you guys want to do about that house." So I was confused. I'm at work, and I said, "Oh, I was told that he put an offer in," and the realtor was like, "He did? I didn't know that he put an offer in." And I said, "Well, why wouldn't you know? Like, he told me he put the offer in, and he had paid earnest money, $5,000 earnest money." And so the realtor was like, "Well, let me call him and find out him." And he, in true narcissistic nature, he flips the script and he like goes off. He's like cussing, going off, like he shouldn't. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. He shouldn't be calling you. If he has a question, he should call me because I'm the one that's on a mortgage. He was like, and now it's going to be an issue. And I said, well, did you put the offer in with him or not? And he said, no, I did not put the offer in with him. I put the offer in with a friend of mine who is a realtor, so I can give him the business. So I did not hear from that realtor again.
Okay, so she talks slow, so we aren't going to go too deep in that. So I just want to show you that was the first one. This
Mm-hmm.
happened 4 more times. Okay, 4 more times. So this one she really wasn't into because he had taken it with her friends. But the next time they did, they went and they looked at another house again. She said she was going to be involved, right? Well, he told her he had money in 2 accounts. He also had money in a Cayman account that was overseas. Okay. I'll show you the Cayman account. All right. So he told her, don't worry about it. We got this house. We're going to be good. All righty. So he showed her the Cayman account and she was like, oh, okay. Well, no, he didn't show her the Cayman account. He showed that later. But so she was good. She was like, oh, wow. I never didn't even know he don't even look like he would have that kind of money, So she was impressed. Right. So anyway, this is what the Cayman
Mhm.
account looks like. Now, you tell me that this don't look like back in AOL when they said you have mail.
What you say?
Computer. Like this
Oh
looks like
my
you
God.
did go on Google. You thought
Now, doesn't it look like
Oh
something
my
old?
God. Yes.
I don't care that it looked
Okay.
old,
Oh.
Kim. I want to say he got $695. So I don't care what that. I don't care how old it is.
I can't see that number. Oh my God.
Mm-mm.
Yes, but
I see
he
Okay.
flashed it. He flashed it for he told her he had different accounts, but he just wanted to show her that da 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 da. So
Wow.
anyway, the bottom line
Wow.
is when it came down to it, she got to the other one, but then that one fell through too because he said he put in an all cash money offer, which she didn't understand
Yeah, I saw
because
that.
she felt like he had this approval. Why would you do that? So then they were like, great, people love
Right.
cash money. So then they say, well, then show us your bank account, your
Mm-hmm.
bank statements, and all the rest of that. And
right.
then we can go ahead. And the people said, we'll take your
Right.
offer. He says, no, accept my offer first, and then I'll show you the money. That deal fell through.
That's that
So then the next time,
narcissistic. That's that narcissistic.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you guys haven't seen a whole heck of a lot of it, but basically, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop this line in case anybody has seen this too before. So let me drop this because there may be some this link because there may be some of us out there that have seen this and
Yeah, in
they
my
can.
opinion, it's putting a lot of information in a comment. In my opinion, if you could come up, maybe she can tell us because she said in the chat
Yeah,
she never showed the overseas account. Um, so if he
right.
and
She did say that, and I realized that he never seen the shows
I'm
that
sure.
he showed that later. Come on up, in my opinion, and help me with this girl. Because there's a
yeah,
lot to recap, and I'm trying.
but
So
first of
Kim,
all, how
go
how
ahead. Go ahead, Gina.
how can she think, oh, he gonna buy a $700,000 house or an alleged loan of $700,000, showing that bank statement that y'all showed me that says six hundred and
Right.
ninety five
Right.
dollars, and
You know my
one of
girl.
the
Right.
deposits was $600 and something dollars. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
I'm
And,
not impressed.
Hey, ladies, how are
and
you?
hey girl,
hi. Hi. And my question is, when he showed her these fake documents, have they gotten married already, or was it before she married him?
no,
Okay,
before she married, because
so
we forgot about the part she pregnant too, didn't I?
well,
In
no,
my
no, no, no,
Yeah, she
no.
lost
She
the
got
baby or
married.
something.
She got married before she saw the documents. Okay,
Okay.
so this
Okay.
is how
Okay.
it happens. They met at the beginning of March.
Mhm.
Um, they dated for 2 weeks. Then COVID struck. They decided that they had to quarantine somewhere together.
right.
Right.
Hmm.
So he
Yeah,
said, well, I'll quarantine at your house because it's close to my job and your place is bigger.
right.
Okay, so pause right there. So he is saying that he was working. And I'm asking these questions because, like you said, Kim, I could not sit there and take all that time of
I
listening to
know.
her because
Oh,
I'm
trust me, it was almost 8 hours, Regina. I
Imagine.
fell asleep.
I
Yeah, I
couldn't
fell
do it.
Yeah. And I
asleep
I
a couple
couldn't
couldn't do
do
it.
times
it.
too.
Yeah.
So he did have a job, and if he had a job, did he
Okay, so
show
he
her his
did have a job, but he lied about his
Mm.
title.
Yeah.
He ended up being a
Yeah.
temp. Okay, he was a temp forklift driver, but this
Oh
is what he
wow.
told
I
her.
didn't know it. Yeah.
He told her he was
Oh.
the
He was
vice
vice
president of
president.
the company. Well, at first he wasn't the vice president. He got the promotion two
Yeah.
months later.
Yeah.
But
Right.
at
Yeah.
first he was the senior executive officer of a condiment service.
Wait a
That's
minute
funny.
though.
It really
Wait
In
is.
my
a minute.
opinion, in my
So
opinion.
It is
when she
funny.
Hold on, no.
when
Before
she
you go
said
there, though, you got to talk about the assistant, David. Because remember, she got pregnant. She was losing a baby, and then he couldn't even be there and he was going to have his
well, then that
assistant.
was that was in May. Okay, so by then he was vice president. Now let me tell you,
Yeah.
Regina. Okay, I've heard a lot of things. Okay, you know me, I deal in money all the time. So
yeah.
certain things that you just know. She said
Hmm.
he was a vice
Hmm.
president, but he went to work with cargo pants on and a polo shirt. I was like, skirt. Hold on,
Yeah.
what VP
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know walking around ain't in a suit? She come to
Yeah.
my son. He couldn't wear a suit because they didn't have a regional office. I was like, skirt. What
Not to cut you
what
off, and he
company?
also told her that he walks on the floor every day, on the plant where they made the
Right, because he was
condiments,
in
and
production.
that was the reason why he dressed like that. Yeah, and that's why he dressed like that because he was on the floor walking. Yeah,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, red flag. Anyway,
Yes. Oh, and I just want to tell everybody also,
woo,
in my opinion, has her channel. So everybody go in there
Yeah.
and make sure you like in my
yes,
opinion's channel too. Yes, no, he was in
So
production because he wasn't that VP.
So he doing all this. Okay, so I guess I'm still trying to figure out from all of that, how long was this young lady with this gentleman?
A year
They
and a
were there
half.
for a year. What, a
Okay.
year? A year and a
It was a
half?
year and a half. They was actually married for 9 months. They dated
That's right. They
for
were married
six
for a year.
months. They
Okay.
was they dated for 6 months. They was married for nine
Mhm.
months. So it made it like a year and a
Okay,
half.
give me an opinion. What happened when they went to marriage counseling? What the pastor say?
Okay, so wait a minute, hold on, cause
Uh,
we gotta go from
Oh yeah.
okay, so they met in March. Okay. She
Okay.
got pregnant at the end of April. She had the
mhm.
miscarriage in she had the miscarriage in May.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Um in June she found out that she was either gonna have to take a pill to
Yeah.
get rid of the baby, or she'd have to, wait for it to come out,
Yes. Yes.
by
Yeah.
itself, or she would
Yeah.
have to have the DNC. She
Yeah.
oh,
decided to take the pill. She said it was treacherous. It didn't
Right.
work. So then they had to schedule a day for the DNC, which was in July.
Yeah.
Now, while she was having the
Mm-hmm.
DNC, it was still during COVID. Nobody could be there. He told her he couldn't take her because he was in a business meeting and he couldn't move the
What?
business meeting.
Yep.
So he told her all she had to do was have them to text his assistant David. And the assistant
Now,
David would
wait a
tell
minute.
him this.
In my opinion, who do you think David was? Do you think he was disguising
Oh
his
no,
voice to be
she told us
David?
at the end. She told us at the end he was David.
oh,
So
Okay, okay,
Oh my
okay.
God. So this brother got multiple personality. I told you he got so many different personality disorders. Oh my God. Okay.
so
Okay.
she told, so he, so wait, so he
so
told her to
David was
call.
texting the doctor, right? So David was texting the doctor. Well, tell me what you need to tell him, and I'll tell him. And the doctor's like, no, no, I cannot do that. That's HIPAA laws. And so
Right. Step along. Yeah.
she's in and out of conscious, but she's hearing this, right? Like she's kind of hearing it, but she dozing off. And so something that was supposed to took her like 45 minutes to an hour in recovery, she was in recovery for 3 hours
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
because he wasn't a VP or nothing like that. He was actually a temp port like
Mm.
port their driver. He couldn't get off.
And he
He
couldn't
kept
get
telling
off
them
work. That's probably what it was.
he kept telling them he was caught in traffic, and this Atlanta traffic is
Yeah.
rough, and yeah.
Mm.
Oh my
So
This
Wow.
is
after that, she's, she said, okay, so she got in the car. She said, and her mom had called, and she kept hearing him say, "Yeah, I just picked her up. I'm finna get her home and all this." And she said she could hear him saying it, but she really couldn't comprehend it. And
God.
she said when they got home, she told him that no, she said she looked at it. He said something about, I texted your mama and told your mama and your auntie not to bother you for a week. I was like, skirt. Now what black mama you gonna tell? Don't check on your kid, and she gonna be like, okay. No, ma'am. My baby just came out of surgery. I'm over there.
Mm.
You better be glad I ain't at the
And
hospital waiting on her.
and wait a minute, and in my opinion, and after losing a child, are you
That's what
kidding
I'm
me?
saying. Like, no, you gonna
I
have to try to
know.
pry me away from there because what you need a week along with my daughter for, and I can't come and I can't call her.
Oh no.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
No.
Oh, it get worse, Miss
I
Marie.
sure did.
It get worse. So right before they get married,
Mm-mm.
she saw some text
Wow.
messages in his phone.
Okay.
Mm.
He was on a dating site. Now he hadn't done anything yet. She said she could tell
Yeah.
he had just started, but she was wondering like, why am I not enough?
Right, of course. Every woman would
Okay,
want
Oh
that.
yeah,
so
now we can
then
ready to
he
get to the. Oh
said,
yeah, we can ready to get to that. Yeah.
"Oh, he said this was a mistake. I only love you.
But
That
wait a
was a
minute though.
mistake.
In my opinion, he had said the thing was it wasn't just that he was talking about some raunchy.
Oh no, no,
Um.
That's
no.
the one
That's the
girl.
second one. That's the second one. That's after they married.
Yeah.
This is the first one. The first one was completely innocent. The second one was
Oh,
when he
I
was
must have fell
up there
asleep on
paying
that one.
people for hand jobs and doing nasty stuff and all this.
Oh
So
yes, 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 yes.
the first one was right
Yeah,
before
the
they
first
got
one was
married. It was
lightweight.
innocent. Yeah, the
Right.
first one was innocent. It was right before they got married. So she
Mm-hmm.
said, she was hurt, but she took him at his word because she knew it didn't go nowhere. And so she married him anyway. So they got married in January.
Wow.
In
Uh-huh.
January, after they got married, she said everything was fine for a while. She said she had kind of dropped the house thing because they had been looking for houses for so long. She
Hey,
dropped it. She was
mm-hmm.
like, I just don't want to do it anymore. She was like, let's just focus on us and till my lease is up. Her lease was gonna be up in May. She was like, we'll talk about it later. Like, I don't want to do it right now. Cause she had got frustrated. You know what I'm saying? She had been getting her hopes up.
Yeah.
She had took her furniture shopping and put deposits down on furniture and appliances and stuff like that. She was like, I was just tired. She was like, I knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
I
And
didn't
then
know
she
what it
said not only
was.
she was tired. Yeah. There you go. She knew something was going on, but she didn't want to deal with it. And she was tired at the time. She didn't want to deal with it. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Right. So then she said the closer they got to the time where she had to move out, of course, she was like, okay, so we're going to have to move. She was like, are we going to rent another place or we're going to buy a place? And so he decided that, well, we should put our accounts together and make a joint account to pay the bills out of. And she was like, at that time, she was like, why we need an account together? You paying all the bills anyway. Like, we can keep it like we already got it. She was like, she wasn't paying nothing but like for her car and all this stuff. And so he was like, well, we need an account that's just for bills. It could be for us together. And that way you can keep, notice on what's going in and out.
Ooh, he's trying
And
to get her money.
she said at first she
Mm-hmm.
didn't think nothing of it. She was like, okay. She was like, but first we need to see each other accounts. And so she showed him, she logged into her bank and showed him her account. And she had like a little over $1,500 in savings. So he opened up his account, well, what she thought was his account. She found out it was a screenshot later. But he opened up his account and showed her his Chase bank account, which had like a little over 9,500 in it. And then he showed her another account. I forgot who it was with, but it was another bank account, and it had a little over $15,000 in it. And so she was like, well, what about the overseas accounts? And he was like, oh, I can't show you that because my uncle always told me when you're dealing with money like that, you don't show that kind of money because then people use you for your money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whew.
So if he had all these money, all these accounts, he ain't need to have no account with her. That's
Nope.
that's ridiculous. So okay, Shay B, you right, girl. I'm sitting here like, thank God, my man, 20 years locked in. I ain't even trying no more. I ain't, oh,
But we're
Well,
gonna
Virginia, it was even
unpack
it was
all
even
that too,
rougher
though.
when
We're
I
gonna unpack
it
all
was
that.
even rougher when I saw in the comments that people had been saying that they went through the same thing. And I was like, there's a lot of y'all dumb people out here falling for this.
But you know what?
Man,
Yep.
I would not say that they're dumb, in my opinion. Here's the thing: is they were duped. They were duped, and it looks good a lot of times to people. It
But
sounds good. It feels good, and unfortunately, there are some people that are still continuing to get taken advantage of. So I'm glad that Kim is having this on her platform tonight, where we can share what are the red flags. We can talk about the story all day long, and we can say, "Girl, you should have seen that. Why didn't you see that?" But in the moment, we may not have seen them, or she may
well,
not have
she
seen
did
them.
know
So what
some
do
of
we
them
do?
were because she was
Mhm.
starting to get hip to it right around the time she was. And then I'm going to show a clip down the road about
Okay.
the ex-wife. She talks about how broken she was. But
Yeah.
this is the good part. It was so bad. This is the part. Is this the part right now where they go to the counselor?
we
MIP.
almost there. We almost there. He did cheat.
With the
Okay.
minister. Yeah.
So then he cheats again, okay? But this time he's cheating and he's talking about doing all this nasty stuff. And she's like, he's never tried any of these things with me. And he's also talking to
Then she said she would have been down with it. She said she would have
yeah,
been down with it too.
yeah, she said I probably would have tried it had he asked me. But he's also paying a woman to have hand jobs and blow jobs and stuff like this.
Okay. I
No.
didn't
And it
hear
was
that.
for
Whew.
she had the prices, she had the house, the address, everything. Like,
And she had the prices with and without protection.
yeah, it was $40 with protection, $40 without protection, $60 with protection, and $80 for both.
Yeah.
He was out there. I keep telling y'all, he was not
She
only a
was real
narcissist.
detailed. Okay, I tell you.
He had brother had other problem issues going on too. He needs to be on some kind of medication, cause
Did she
that
Oh,
is
I
ever?
got
oh my
videos to show y'all about him because he say he out here now talking about he the relationship expert. I got a clip or two to show you what he talking
Oh
about. He
oh
no,
gonna get
wait a
out
minute. I
oh
don't know if you know the lady. The lady says he got a Netflix letter that he's done conjured up talking about some Netflix has offered him a deal, so he can't really talk much
oh
no
my
more.
god,
Yes, and then
slander
he
of
said he got it
delusion.
16 days ago, and Tisa didn't even come out to herself to the 14th of February. We ain't even done with February, so you know he already telling this story already. But anyway,
Oh my
let's go on
god.
to the she
Did
get
she ever
upset
meet
now.
his
She said
parents?
she confronts him.
Did she
No,
ever
they
meet his
dead.
parents?
Their
They're
parents,
dead.
okay. Oh,
He
that was a
had
hot mess
brothers
too.
or something. Yeah, cause
That
he
was a
had
hot mess
siblings.
too because he told her he had
Oh
two brothers, two
yeah,
sisters,
yeah,
and he had two half brothers. Well, come to
yeah.
find out, he only had two brothers, and one of them was his
Oh
twin brother.
wow.
And the life that he was telling her was the life of his twin brother, who is married with kids, but nobody in the family deals with him. He
Uh-huh.
also killed off his ex-wife's daughter in this fairy tale that he had going on during COVID, where he sent the ex-wife
Oh.
$2,000. He said the girl died of COVID, and he had to send her $2,000 to get the funeral. And was she okay with that? Because they had discussed that anything over $500, they would have a discussion first. And so he was like, I got to send her 2,000. That's half of the money for the funeral. Are you okay with it? And she was like, of course. Yeah, that was crazy too.
Is that
He just
is
kept
that
killing.
the
He kept
stepdaughter?
killing people
I'm
off though. He kept Miss Regina. Every week it was somebody was gone. First it was his
oh
uncle,
wow.
then it was his
Yeah, I
grandma,
remember that one.
and then the
Yeah.
auntie, and then the daughter. I said I couldn't take it.
Girl, like
Was
I
the
said,
daughter
Yes.
the stepdaughter? Was the stepdaughter? He's supposed to have such a wonderful relationship with
Yeah,
the
the stepdaughter was
stepbrother and
supposed to be that
son.
stepdaughter he had a wonderful relationship
Oh,
with.
Now he has the
yeah, yeah, with the two. Yeah. Oh wow.
right, Latoya, when you have never been through it, you don't know. But when you go through it, baby, you will forever be changed. Right, Latoya? Right.
because he had some fake
Right.
phone calls with his brothers
For the
because he would.
people who were confused, like, wait, what does this mean about the phone calls? I'm going crazy because what this means is that for the past 4 or 5 months, every morning that he is having a phone call with his brother Chris, I am now understanding in real time that that phone call was completely fake.
Ooh.
Completely. So he would get on the phone and he would pretend he would talk to himself and he would pretend like he was talking to her and he would be like, "Hey, my brother Chris," he
Yeah,
said,
then he would
"Hey,
tell her,
hey,
he was like, "Oh, my brother said hi," and she'd be like, "Hi," and he would relay the message like he talking to somebody.
for 5 months."
God. Oh God.
And this would be at
Oh
6 and 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my
yeah.
G.
And the sister
He
that
did for
stayed
the
in
same.
Douglasville, the sister that was supposed to stay in Douglasville, turns out to be his ex girlfriend. It's also
Who?
the address
Oh.
that he has on his driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Oh.
what?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, it, that's all. I mean, it's
Wow.
really.
So, but I just gotta tell you this though. So then they go, so when he tells the stripper girl whatever, and so she was like, "Okay, this is it. I can't deal with this. We're gonna have to go to marriage counseling. We didn't get premarital counseling, so we need to get it now because this is just getting crazy." So they went there,
Mm-hmm.
they started asking. So she told them about that check and the checking accounts and all the rest of that. And then the pastor asked him, "Well, why wouldn't you show him? You could show him now." He says, "I'm not gonna show him. I'm not gonna, and y'all not gonna make me." And the pastor's wife said, "This ain't gonna last. I'll tell you right now, this isn't gonna last."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she told her it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
And
gonna
then the
last.
pastor said, "I wish I had known y'all before y'all got married, because I would have told
Yeah.
y'all wasn't ready for it."
Yeah.
And she
Right.
That's what
got
they
upset. She
said.
told the lady
Yeah.
that it was gonna last. That's not true.
Mm-hmm.
She was
Mm-hmm.
still holding on to hope. She was still holding on to hope. You know, love make you do some things, baby, that you say you would never do. And all the things, all those red flags, everything he was doing, she was, it was coming to her mind, something's not right, something's not right. But she still loved him and she kept holding on to hope, no matter what the minister and them said to her. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
sad part. They not dumb, but that love is something else, man. It can put blinders on you and you just walk through the relationship and say that you're acting like you don't see it. That's scary. But I'm glad. What, it was a year and a half the marriage was over after a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
basically.
okay, so I'm glad
Uh,
it didn't go into, because I know there are people who have been in relationships like that for 20, 25 years. So I'm just
Right.
going to say I'm just glad that she didn't stay in there. That's scary.
Wow.
Yeah,
well,
Wow.
she was that was pretty much the same. They went to go looking for houses again because he said, well,
yeah.
because she said she didn't want to look for houses anymore. She didn't want to deal with it and everything. So this
Well,
time
after the marriage counseling, that he got hurt. Um,
mhm.
it was supposed to be a pre-injury from his football, arena playing football
Oh
days.
yeah, yeah.
But that
And
they
she
had looked for
said,
houses
I
again
saw
though.
that.
What I want to bring out though is this though, in my opinion, is that it was his sister that was trying to hip her up on game because he did that same thing about a cash offer, and I'm not going to show my stuff. Everybody else is trying to work back and forth with him and convince him to show your earnest money, show your bank statements and all the rest of that. So he did the same thing again, and his sister pulled her aside. She called her and she was like, look, because she had told him, she said, oh, okay, I see you don't want to do that. But what we're
no,
going to
that wasn't
have
the
to do,
sister. That was the realtor.
The
I
realtor,
know when I
yeah,
say
the
sister,
female
I mean
realtor.
like, well,
Oh
yeah, when
yeah,
I mean sister, I mean like, a sister. Because, she pulled her coattail kind of thing. You know what I mean? Yes,
Yeah,
it was a realtor. Let me say that. But the realtor was like a sister. Like she was going to let the sister know, another sister know something in the milk ain't clean. That's all I'm trying to say.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
so she was trying to tell her that. And she was letting her know that, look, this can't go forward. And something wrong here, honey. And then she just said, okay, she knew it was
Hey,
wrong,
Nadi.
but she was gonna let it go. Hey, Natty, and she was just
She's
gonna
in the
let it
chat.
go at that. But
Mm-hmm.
go ahead. In my opinion, I just wanted to say that
yeah.
about that. But she still didn't, even after that person said it, she kept on going.
well, she
Oh
did.
Lord,
Here's
oh
the
yeah.
thing: after the realtor, she did start thinking. But he got injured afterwards, and she was trying to get him to go to the doctor, and he wouldn't go. He was like, "No, it'll be okay," and all this. And she said every day he would come in, he was losing weight because he wouldn't eat. He would just lay in the bed.
Right.
Um, she said she decided to go to she decided to run this because now keep in mind this was real crazy too. I forgot about this part. So when they got married, he put a social security number down. She ran a background on that
Mm,
social. Nothing came up. But she got a job, a new
Yes.
job. And she needed to have
yeah,
him checked out for her new job. So she asked him
right.
for a social. He didn't really want to give her the social at first. And she was like, I don't understand why you don't want to give me the social. Anyway, she finally got the social, I think, out of his wallet or something and put it down on her records. And she noticed that the numbers were different. So she ran a background check on that one. And the background check came back and said he lived in Rhode Island, Detroit, no, Rhode Island, Pittsburgh, and Atlanta. And she was
Yeah.
like, no California. She was like, but he said him and his wife stayed in California. They divorced in California. So then she was like worried, she was like, well, where's the California? And so when she asked him about it, he kind of was like nonchalant to her. So she did her research and found out that the wife stays in Georgia.
Mm.
They divorce was in Georgia.
Yeah.
And so
Mm-hmm.
she went
Yeah.
and pulled up those divorce papers because she can go in there and she can pull them up.
Right.
So she went in there, pulled up the divorce papers, found out that he did not file for divorce. This lady filed for divorce, and they had both filed something on their divorce where they both was broke. They couldn't even pay for their
Wow.
divorces.
Right. Pauper. It was called the Pauper Clause.
Yeah, a papa.
Yeah,
Where
because it
neither
was
one of them could
Forrest
pay for their
Pauper.
legal fees.
The big
Wow.
executive in the khaki pants couldn't pay for the legal fees. Okay. My God.
The vice president.
So
Hi, Natty.
she got the wife number off the paper, and she decided she was gonna call the wife. So she gets
Yeah.
there, she calls the wife, and she asked her, she like, and she didn't use real names, so she said, um, "Hi Shirley, this is somebody," and she was
Barbara.
like,
No,
Oh,
you
"Yeah,"
she's
know,
she
gonna
was
say
like, "Hi
Barbara.
Shirley, this Barbara." And she was like, "Who are you?" And she was like, I'm married to Legion," which who she kept calling him out of the Bible. And so,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so she said the lady was quiet for a minute, and she was like, "How did you get my number?" And she was like, "Off your divorce papers." And she said she was quiet again for a minute, and she was like, "Look, I don't want to bother you. I just need you to answer some questions for me." She said, "If you calling me, it must be bad."
Ooh.
She said, "What I'm gonna tell you
Mm.
is everything he has told you is a lie."
Ooh.
Mhm.
So let me ask you this, in my
Hey,
opinion.
everybody.
Hey,
Hey.
Nadi.
Hi, Natty.
Hi, Lottie.
Hi, Naughty.
How y'all
So
feeling?
Fine,
good.
baby.
Finding yourself?
Who gave him that name, Legion? Did he give himself that name, or she gave him that name to
No,
try?
she gave
Yeah.
him that
She
name because she
did.
didn't
She
want to put his
did.
information out there. But Dummy came out and
Yeah.
told us his real name. His real name is Jerome.
Yeah.
Oh.
Romy Rome Rome. Romy Rome.
She picked, she picked the right
So
one. I was like, ooh, when I heard that, I was like, ooh, woo, woo.
Yeah.
yeah,
But wait a minute.
I thought about the
Y'all done
Bible
seen
too.
her. But I know y'all want to see him. Let me just give y'all what you did so y'all can see Romy Rome, and then we'll go right back to it. But you got to see Romy Rome. Where Romy Rome?
Oh God,
Not
this
Roman
is
Rome, Lord have
horrible.
Um, but you know
Roman
he's
Rome.
a relationship coach too, y'all. Y'all know that, don't you?
Y'all got to be careful
No.
when
This
you're on
is the
these
reason why.
platforms and listening to people talk about their.
Yes, I keep saying the same thing. Be careful
Mhm.
on social media.
False.
Stop
And
believing everything you see. Is that
we
him?
went to marriage counseling, didn't work, and we broke up.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's him.
But my message to her is please stop lying to these people, and you can tell them the real reason I left you. You cheated. I caught
Oh,
you in the house with Bradley,
there he goes.
and we went to marriage counseling, didn't work, and we broke up. More to the point, I
Mm-mm.
haven't decided who I'm going to talk to exactly or go on whose page or whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know that she lied about everything. Follow her, don't follow her. That's up to you. All that stuff she said, it's complete lies.
I know what you're thinking. No, you are the complete liar. I went ahead and
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's
Can I
good. Just
say
so
the
you have
importance
a
of?
frame of reference. I wanted you to have a frame of reference. So yeah, so then and then now while he's doing all this stuff though, remember he got sick, but he's losing more and more weight, right? In my opinion. Thank God for
Yes, he's
my
losing weight.
everybody in
Okay,
mind.
so then it gets so bad that he can't not go to work. Okay, so
Yes.
now he's laying in her
Mm,
house
mm.
and he's not eating. He's drinking Powerade and he's not moving. Um, and so find out she talked to the wife. She's like, okay, I can't do this anymore. She's like, because the wife tells her, she's like, look, everything he does is a lie. She was like, we were only married for 6 months. She said that man took me through hell. And so she said he could never tell you the truth. And so she said before she hung up, she asked her, how's your daughter? And she said, oh, my daughter's fine. And then she said, what did he tell you
Wow.
about my daughter? And she said, I didn't have the heart to tell her that he told me her daughter had died. And she said, no, he said something about, she may have been sick during COVID. And you could tell by the way she had a pause in it that the lady didn't believe her.
Right.
He didn't.
So yeah. Anyway, so she went home and she was like, look, I'm through with this. Y'all, you gotta go. And he was like, so you just gonna kick me out? And she was like, yeah. She was like, I can't do this no more. She said she went to his side of the bed because he had Powerade bottles everywhere.
And
He
he
told
had
her don't
coffee in him.
he told her don't touch it. She was like, what is this in here? So she said it didn't look like Powerade. It was pee. The man was peeing in bottles.
Oh Lord.
It was the
Okay.
most disgusting thing I had ever heard
Mhm.
of.
Oh Lord. So he couldn't walk to the bathroom. Is that it? I mean,
He
come
was so
on.
he was so hurt he couldn't walk to the bathroom, and she had a bathroom in
Oh.
her room.
I'm gonna show
Oh.
you. This is what she said. This is her explosive reaction. She says, "Let's see here."
Yo, mm-mm, 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 mm-mm.
Oh, Regina, it ain't even you ain't even got to the real part yet.
Mhm.
Okay, here she go.
The amount of rage that was in me, I could have fought every member of the Kansas City Chiefs and beat every last one of their asses.
I never
I
felt.
could have
Oh.
fought every member on the Atlanta Falcons and beat every last one of their asses. I'm not a violent person, but I was there. That statement, I ain't never lied to her, took me there.
Mm.
I went off. I went off. I went off so bad that first of all, every part of me was shaking. I called my mom. My mom was on speakerphone,
Hey, Toya.
and
Hey.
she's in Arkansas. My mom's a praying woman. I was cussing like a sailor. My mom finally said, put him on the phone. So I gave him the phone, and I'm standing there and I'm looking around the room. Is the scene that I remember is the Angela Bassett scene in Waiting to Exhale, when her eyes
Mm-hmm.
are darting around the room
Mhm.
right before she grabs everything to put it in the car to set it on fire. I was more so looking at what weapons were in the room: the lamp, the
Mhm.
TV, the dresser. I was looking more. I mean, I was while she was talking to him, my eyes were darting around the room, because if he did not get his ass up and get his shit and get up out of my house, it was going to be bad. If I have never in my life been on TikTok and said thank, if had it not been for the blood, y'all, I know this is gonna sound dramatic.
Yes. So anyway, that was
Mhm.
her when she was when she was done. She was done.
Kim,
Okay.
Right.
Kim,
Huh?
I gotta add a couple of context to
Adam,
the
baby.
story.
Because
So
it's a lot. So we all gonna get it together.
we gonna rewind to before they got married, because y'all left out one key point, that
What's that?
before they got married, she got pregnant. She had a miscarriage. She had to have a
Mhm.
DNC. He was 3 hours late picking her up.
I
Yeah.
told him that. I told him that.
Oh yeah, uh-huh. She's mentioned that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In my opinion, you forgot about when they were going through downtown, and he said that his job had bought the building behind the other building, and she
Oh
said, "Take me
yeah.
Oh, I
by
did forget about that one. Oh my
Yeah.
Oh,
god.
and you know what else we forgot, y'all? You
Yeah.
And
know what else? Okay,
the company car
Latoya.
that was there. The company car.
Right.
But wait a
And
minute.
don't
Oh
forget
yeah.
about
Oh,
the
because you are so right. Because the company car was a whole big
right.
thing. Because he was
Right.
gonna
He
Yeah,
give her
because
cursed
he
her
gave
on
her
the
$1,000.
something for
phone.
a car too.
Yes, yeah, he did. But don't forget about when he gaslighted her about the boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, supposed that came to the house, and the
Oh,
black
that was
charger
after.
was in the. That was were they married then? He had
That
sent her to get
that
her
was on her
nails
birth.
done.
Okay, so that was
Yeah,
on her
yeah,
birthday.
yeah,
that was
and
But wait
that
a
was
minute.
gaslighting when he did that.
But don't forget
Yeah.
about the cemetery too. The cemetery when
Oh
he took
yeah,
her.
the grandmother. Yeah,
Yeah, and it was a headstone that had, let's just
yeah,
say, Smith. And he said all the
yeah,
people was buried all on top of
yes,
each other on
yep,
that same headstone. His
yep,
grandmama and them
yep.
all went
Regina.
there.
His grandma wasn't out there, girl. He worked there, girl.
Well, his
I'm
grandma was
telling you,
there,
look
but
like
his grandma
child.
died years ago. It wasn't. She didn't die that year. She died years ago.
But that wasn't her thing though.
No,
Her brother
no.
said his
He
his
said
brother
his
said her
mom and
husband.
his dad were buried there, but they weren't buried there. He
No,
said
his
Right.
mom and dad was in Pennsylvania.
right, but he lied and said they were there, but
He had
they
a
Right.
weren't buried
family.
there. He just worked there and just picked out a gravestone and said that's where my mom and my dad are buried.
Oh
But now let's
Jesus.
go back to that thing though, what Toya said about the boyfriend that he said because he got mad.
Yeah,
He called her at work and
yeah,
told her dude came over there and all the rest of it. Well, he did not know she had installed a security device that would let you know how long the door was open. So at the time he said that, the door opened and
Right.
it closed right back. So he couldn't have been in there because he said he had a whole conversation with this dude, like who you were, he was
He
asking for
did.
her, da 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 da. And then she figured it out because she started asking all them questions. And then of course, he lying, so he was just trying to blow her off. And she asked her neighbor,
Her
she had a ring
doorbell camera.
camera, and she said, "Did
Yep.
you see anybody around my house at this time?" And she was like, "No."
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Regina, mind you, at this time she was working at the state patrol office.
Oh, oh,
Yeah, she was doing that. That was her job. Yep, that was her job. Wow.
Yeah.
y'all. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. I'm so glad I did not spend 4 hours trying to watch this.
Thank you,
Mm.
Regina. I'm like,
No, it was 8 hours, Miss Regina. It wasn't
But
4 hours, it was 8.
right, but he lied and said his company had bought the building behind one of the big buildings in downtown Atlanta. And he was
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, that's where I
Mm-hmm.
keep the company car. And she was like, why don't you
Well,
drive
let
the
me see
company
your.
car
She
home?
said, "Let me see your new office in your car." And he
Yeah.
using the fake phone that he was using. He called up there. He was like, "Oh
Called
yeah."
to the fake head of security.
He
Yes.
had the whole
Who
conversation with head
wasn't
of
who
security.
wasn't there though? Remember the head
Head
security,
of
but he
security gonna
wasn't
talk about
there.
something. He was, oh, I'm off. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
is John now? He said, "Oh, you don't know John now? Oh, he called off. Oh, okay, all right."
Yes.
But can I just say this? And Regina, I was with you. I couldn't waste 8 hours of my day listening to this
I couldn't do it
craziness.
either.
And
Yeah.
that's the importance of taking your time, fact checking, going to the doctor, meeting the family. Because if I can't meet your family, we can't go forward. I need to know your lineage.
Mm-mm.
I need to know what type of crazy I'm dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Because we
Mm-hmm.
all got them in the family, okay? We all got them.
I mean,
But
heck
because they
yeah. That's crazy. That
And
listen,
I
because
should
they
be able
are
to go.
family,
Okay, so
Right. And I
Miss
should be.
Regina.
I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
was going to say I should be able to go to your
So
job
the
too.
lady that he introduced her to, that he said was his auntie, who he moved in with when he was getting divorced. Okay, she put him out. That's who he moved in with. But the lady didn't want him there, so she
Mm.
called. She called her up and told her, she was like, "This ain't something y'all can work out." And she was like, "No." And so she was like, "But what about the baby?" And she said, "There is no baby."
Oh
He
Lord.
had done told her that
I
she
forgot
has
Oh,
a
about that part.
baby.
You're right.
oh,
You're
So
right.
Miss
oh,
Regina, this lady sits
oh.
here and tells her, well, she can't put you out of the house because y'all are married. So this fool calls her back and said he's coming home because she can't put him out.
Oh.
She has to call the police chief, and the police chief do tell her that, technically y'all are still married
right?
until the
Right.
divorce
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
decreed.
And they gonna get
He
him
can
out.
come
Yeah.
there. And he told her she had 3 options. They could stay there together. She could have somebody to come out and look at the place, and then she could leave, or she could pay for him to stay somewhere else.
she could pay for him, child.
Sure
I'm just
did.
telling you what they told her. So anyway, she said she was so upset because she did not want him there, and her lease was finna be up. All she needed was like a week, 2 weeks, something like that, and she was gonna be gone from that place. Well, she
Mm,
Okay.
kept calling. She kept calling these police chiefs and stuff, and finally the police chief said he has a warrant. So if he come to your
Yes.
house, call
Good.
us. Okay, so he was supposed to showed up on that Wednesday. He
right.
showed up on that Friday and called her while she was at work and said, "I'm outside the house. How long before you get there?" So she called the police and told them that he was there. Well, when they got there, he wasn't there. He had went to the Walmart to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
So when she got there, she wasn't driving her normal car, so he didn't know it was her. She
He
turned
was backing
around
up
and
in the
parked at the
driveway, so
corner.
he didn't know.
Yeah. So she parked at the corner and she called the police and said they was there, that he was here. And so they sent the police chief told her he was sending out 4 police cars and, just for her to stay where she was. 4 police cars come, okay, and he
Wow.
get out and they arrest him and everything. And while he's sitting in the back seat of the car, he said he just want to talk to her. And so the police lady come over there and tell her, he want to talk to you. Do you want to talk to him? That was the craziest thing I had ever heard of. She said yes, and she was, why are you here? Why you keep bothering me and all this? I was like, I wouldn't even talk to him. I just don't.
Okay, I want to ask a question. Now, y'all might talk about me, okay? But when they arrested him and they took him away, I did feel a little bad because his car, okay, you already got him arrested and everything else. He out your house and all the rest of that. So his car was left in her driveway, right? Well, she called the people and she was like, hey, y'all looking for this car? And they were like, yeah, we're looking for this car. She said, well, it's here. You can come and
she
get
called
it.
the finance company.
Yeah, that kind of felt bad, that I'm
Why?
I didn't.
I would not have.
that I did feel a little
I
bad. I'm just being
know.
honest.
I wouldn't have all the things he
I
did to
didn't,
her.
because
I
first of
wouldn't
all,
have
he was
no
blocking
sympathy
her.
for
First
him.
of all, he was blocking her garage. She did not know how she was gonna get that
Oh
car away from her
wow.
garage. Because they took
Oh
they took the keys with them because it was on him. So anything that the police catch you
yeah,
with, they
yeah,
take with them.
yeah.
So
Well,
she
I was just
couldn't
thinking
move the
she gonna
car.
have to move out on the street. That's all I was just gonna say. That's
But
all I
that's
was
what
gonna
I'm
say.
saying.
I wouldn't have moved nothing.
Then them people was
Karma, baby.
already. She had already said them people was calling her and saying that the tracking device was unactivated, and so she
Oh, he
probably was
did it.
tired of them calling
He
her
did
too.
it. He did it. Karma. Okay? That was karma and he deserved it. I wouldn't have feel I'm sorry, I wouldn't have felt
But
sorry
Miss
for him.
Regina,
Yes,
check this
ma'am.
out. Out of
Okay.
all the bad luck she had in this relationship,
Yeah.
she said her mama logged on to his court date. This was on the 29th. Keep in mind, she's
Huh?
moving on the 31st, okay?
Oh
Okay.
yes.
So on the 29th, he has a court date.
Yeah.
He goes to court. Her mama's logging in because it's COVID, that's online. She
Hmm.
logs in and she finds out that somehow this is getting thrown out. And she's upset. She's telling her, she's
Here's
like, oh
what.
my
Wait a
God,
minute. Let me just
he
interject.
gonna be
What
out.
happened
He gonna
was,
be
let me just interject. What happened was is that the warrant had expired. Yeah.
Oh.
And so that's what they found out. Go
They
ahead.
had
In
it.
my opinion.
yeah,
hmm
so she's like, well, what happened? And she was like, so she called this police chief that she know that she been talking to this whole time, and she's like, is he getting out? And he was like, yeah, he's getting out because the warrant had actually expired. And so she was like, can y'all not hold him to the 31st? I'm moving.
She needed to know somebody. That's what that was.
She was like, just can y'all
Oh
hold
God.
him? And so the police chief told her that no, he's getting out on tomorrow, which would have been the 30th.
Her mama
So
said, "You need to leave our house."
her mama told her you should go to your auntie house for the night, and then on the 30th first, you go there and just move when the moving truck is there. And that's what she does. And she pays the moving company. If she said, I'll give y'all extra money if y'all can have me out here as quick as you can. Like I'm in a,
Mhm.
toxic relationship. I'm trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
She says the day that she's moving, she found out in the mail that her divorce was finalized.
Oh
Mm.
God.
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
Good
Well,
for
Mm-mm.
that's a
her.
divorce that needed to happen.
Yes. Oh my
That
goodness.
was
Yes.
now. His
Oh.
ex-wife came, and now all this stuff came, and I'm gonna show you the ex-wife though, because when we're talking about what people are
Kim,
going
that's one
through,
of the ex-wives. She found out he had two previous
right?
ex-wives.
So this
Really?
was which one was
Oh
this
my
anyway? Was this
God.
the first one? Was this the
Okay,
That's
first
the
the
one or
the
the
first.
light
second one?
That's the
the light
first
skinned
one.
the
Toya
light
is
skinned
the
one with
second
the
one.
son that went to jail is the very first one. Okay, she was there when
Okay.
his parents passed away.
Okay. Well, here he go. Here she go. Let's see.
What the frankly alignment is going
Not a lie.
on?
This dude really is a fucking pathological liar. Address the
Oh,
elephant in the room because it's been brought to my attention that my ex-husband is out here in these streets disturbing individuals as he always has, and I have been brought into this. Let me first say, this chapter of my life is closed. I have moved on. It's been more than 10 years. I'm over it. I'm done. I'm good. Okay? But after I say this, let's just leave it alone. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
I'm not going to address it anymore because I have nothing to do with this. This is my past life. The book is closed, okay? So Legion, as y'all call him, is a despicable, nasty, and vile individual. I fell for the trap over 10 years ago. Yes, he was charming, and I was broken mentally, okay? Understand, self-love was not here at all for me to actually love myself enough to understand that this is not love. He manipulated me. He loved bombed me. All of the, oh, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that and everything else. Yes, all of these things were said to me. Guess what? None of it happened. He's manipulative, and he literally tried to ruin my life. He had family turn against me because he wanted to tell people lies about me and things of that nature. And unfortunately, he's very, very good at what he does. It took me many, many, many years to get past that. I have healed. And with this situation being brought back to me, it's like cutting me back open with a dagger because I was already healed up. The Band-Aid had been left. I've gotten married. I'm happy. Been good, right? But this man is a pathological liar. He gave up all types of promises, but to the cars and houses, just like Risa. But guess what? None of that ever came to pass, right? So I just need for people to know that this situation was traumatic as hell for me. And then I hear about, because I've not watched any of the videos, because for what? Like, it's not my business anymore. I feel bad for anybody that he comes into contact with, and I will tell any female that sees his picture, don't ever, just let it go. Because he needs some serious mental help, and he needs to be evaluated and be locked away. So that's what I will say. And as far as like me not filing for divorce, I didn't file for divorce because I was afraid for my life. I didn't want to be served. I didn't want to. In order for me to file, I would have to tell him where exactly I was, and I didn't want him to know that. So no, I absolutely was not filing because I was afraid at the time. But guess what? It was ended before it even really started, but at the same token, I still was very, very, very not mentally, in love with myself. So that's one of the things that really got me. So I genuinely feel empathy for the women that have been down his path. When all this stuff was going on with him and I, there was no social media, TikTok or anything like that. But at the same token, I just wanted to heal through my processes. I didn't want to sit there and have to tell the whole world my business because I'm a very private person and I don't do trauma. I will also say this. I did not hit Legion at all. I did not hit this man. He went to jail because he was impersonating a police officer, telling people that he was a detective of the police department in Atlanta, Georgia. And that is why he went to jail. Also for stalking one of the guards that were over where we lived at. That is why he went to jail. So he didn't go to jail because of we never went to court about me putting my hands on him. My son did, yes, interact with him. And my son, yes, he did put his hands on him because he threatened me for the last time. And enough was enough. As you go through life, you can either sit down and continue to take it, or you can get up and triumph and do what you need to do so that you can make your life better. And at that point, enough was enough from me. I was done. I was no longer going to be the victim because I'm not a victim. I'm not a doormat. You can't step on me. You can't do whatever you want to do to me and me take it. So I left. I will also say, I need people to understand this is my life we're talking about, right? So this situation is triggering, but it's triggering me because it needs to be said. But it's one of those things where I was okay with not saying it. I was good. after this conversation, after I'm done saying my piece, if anybody wants to actually, know how I healed from all of this, you're more than welcome.
Good for
Okay, she
her.
just goes on there to talk about her own thing. Now I want to mention
Good for her.
Regina's statement here, correction, Mark 5:19. Then Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" "My name is Legion," he
Legion.
replied, "for we are many." So she must have named
Yep.
him Legion because he had all them
hmm
personalities.
Yeah, yeah.
No, demonic too. They are demonic people.
Right. In that verse,
Narcissistic.
yes, in that verse of Mark 5:9, Jesus was talking to the spirits, and he was saying, "Who are you?"
Yep.
They were saying, "We are many, and our name is
Yep.
Legion." And that's when he told them, they said, "Well, don't kill us. Let us at least go into the pigs, into the swine."
Pigs.
And then
Yep.
the swine went over the cliff and
Over the
drowned.
head. Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's why I was asking, who gave him the name Legion? Did he give it to himself? But knowing that she
No,
gave it
she
to him,
did.
and this is what she
She
saw.
did.
And I guess she was saying the many and multiple demonic
Yes.
personality
Yes.
that
Yes.
he was
Yes.
exposing
Yes.
is why she
That's it.
allegedly came up with the name Legion. And Webster's definition means many as well. It also means
Mhm.
great in number and a vaster
Mhm.
multitude. So I was just
Yeah.
curious if he gave himself that name, but knowing that she gave it to
No,
him, then
because I
that's
was just wondering. No,
Yeah,
she
the
gave it to
sun
him, but
came out too. The
I
sun
never
came
knew
out
why
too.
she gave him that name. I never knew what made her come up
Yeah.
with Legion, but now I
Oh well,
know.
she said no. She said out of the Bible. She did say that. She said I
Yeah.
I
gave
remember
him the
that, but
name
I mean,
Legion.
I didn't know the association, and the meaning behind it. So as Legion
Mhm.
and many, and then like Sandra said, and Regina said that being demonic. You know what I mean?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's demonic. And if you ever come in contact with a narcissist, if you have a relationship with them, at the end you will say, "Oh my God, this person is demonic," because the things they say and the things they do and the way they manipulate you. And they not only
Regina.
will manipulate you, they will manipulate your family and your friends too.
Yes.
Mhm.
And it
So
seems
Regina.
like
yeah.
your first wife said that he was turning her family against her, because what they
Yep.
would do is they would try and get you in a place where you are separate from others, so
Yes.
that you have no
Yep.
one that you
Yep.
can cry out to, so that you
Right.
are only reliant and dependable
Right.
on them. So
Yep.
anytime if
That's
you're in a
it.
relationship and the person is trying to get you to separate, or causing destruction and
That's
separation in your
correct.
family,
Yep.
and trying to get you to
Right.
separate from everybody
Yep.
that you're with, including friends, coworkers, cousins, all of that, then you have to
Yep.
look at that. Why are they doing it?
Yes.
Because they want you to be self-reliant
Yep.
and only
On
dependent
them.
on them. That's the major red
Yes.
flag.
Yes.
Regina,
That
how
How
is
many
many
definitely a
times have
major
I
red
said
flag. And
to
those
you?
people.
What
How
was
many
that?
times have
What
I
is?
said to you, Regina, that I have never
What's
encountered
going on?
a person like Waldo
Relationships are
before
hard work,
ever?
but you got to
Yeah,
put the
you
time
did.
in and the effort.
So
I'm gonna
that's the
close that
same
out.
guy. Mm.
Yeah, she said that he should be named Legion too. I just want to tell
Mhm.
you, he's giving Legion is giving relationship advice.
To
Putting the
who?
time or the effort in to their relationship, but they just
To
want it
his
to
to
work
his
and
other
it all flow
personality.
smoothly. Doesn't work like that. Relationships are work. You got to put the work in. Don't expect to reap the benefit if you're not going to put the time in. So the message from your guy, the relationship guy.
Women will literally
Let's him
always
crying.
take advantage.
Now
So
Let me
he's
tell you,
got
narcissists tell themselves lies for
Mhm.
so
Oh.
long that they
Mhm.
believe them.
Believe it. Yes.
And it is, and I
Yes.
want to say this to
Yes.
everybody who's listening and everybody who's going to watch it on the replay. And I want people to understand that am Aretha. So I understood everything that she said. Everything she said was triggering. I related a lot of the things that
Mhm.
she went through
Mhm.
and a lot of the characteristics that Legion has, Waldo has. And I just want people to understand and get that when you meet these people, you're not meeting their real selves. They're
Yep.
presenting to you their representation.
Mhm.
So when people say, "Well, you didn't know they were like that," or "You didn't," no, you don't. Because they don't show that person doesn't show up to you, and that they're predators because they prey on people like us. They prey on people who are
Yes.
better than them, who
Yes.
could bring them
Yes.
up, bring status
Yes.
wise, like
Yes.
wardrobe wise, whatever. They look
Yes.
for those type of
Yes.
people to bring them up.
Yes.
And then when you bring them up, then they want to tear you down to make it seem like you're
Yes.
beneath them. And in the whole dating phase, as you're courting, you're getting to know them. As she said, they love bomb you. They sit
Yes.
there and they listen to everything you tell them about your life, and they keep
Mhm.
that in their mental bank, and
Mhm.
they use it
Mhm.
as ammunition against you later on. And they have this
True.
push and pull method where they push you away, pull you back, push you away, pull you back.
Mhm.
That's the whole
Mhm.
manipulation.
Mhm. Mhm. The silent
And you don't
treatment.
even know you're in it
Yeah.
until you're too deep in it. And it's hard to
Right.
get
That's
out.
true. Yeah,
It
she's
is
telling
hard
the
to get
truth.
out.
Yeah, I myself was in a relation, not was in a relationship with a narcissistic person. But for me, because I had the training, it was like maybe within 2 months in, and he flipped. He did the flip because they're gonna flip on you. They're gonna love bomb you until they feel comfortable that they have you. And he flipped, and he came on to me by accusing me of being a person that I know I was not. And my first reaction was, am I selfish? What? So then I tell him, no one's never said that to me, even as a child. No one. Well, yes, you are. So I reached out to people that I had dated before and other family, and they was like, no, you've never been selfish. So then I said, wait a minute. He's a narcissist. So I pulled all my books out, my journals, everything out, right? And I went over notes and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, this man is a narcissist. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I still would talk back and forth with him, but when I really had a conversation with him, I told him, I said, I have diagnosed you and you are a narcissist. Well, what is that? I said, instead of me telling you, I'm going to let you pull it up on Google and let Google tell you. So he pulled it up, he read, he was like, oh, yeah, yeah, I do some of these things. I do some of these things. I said, okay, so you realize you are a narcissist. 2 days later, you know what he's told me? There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not a narcissist. I said, okay, okay, so I'm the one crazy, right? Right.
Right.
Okay.
Right. They
What
will make you. They will have you thinking that you
they
crazy.
call
They will
it?
have you thinking you losing your mind.
Yes, yes, gaslighting. What is the other one? Love bombing. They'll come back. They'll give you the silent treatment. See, but what we have to understand, and I'm speaking on a man, a male, because I've never dealt with a female narcissist. They something traumatic happened in their lives
Right.
when
Yep.
they were younger, or if the relationship they have with their mother causes them to stay at that age. It's called arrested development, and they
Mm-hmm.
stay at that age. So what you have is a child in a grown man's body. They do not,
Mm.
they are not going to take accountability. They are pathological liars. They could be on drugs. They have certain addictions. They steal. They will lie like it's they trying to save their life, and then they'll get angry with you because you call them out on that. And
Right.
Yep.
that's
They
what I said.
will
It's a lot of red flags. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Well, I'm
The
going to
cheat
say
sex.
this is
Well,
that
this particular person came. Uh
oh no, I was going to say that in dating,
huh.
you have to watch out for a lot of these different things. Like it was this guy, and I went to school with him, and I think I even told you to Sandra. But one day he had called me, and he had said, and they
Mhm.
will convince, almost convince you. He said, I thought we were going to get together and everything. And I said, I don't remember us saying again. No, we were supposed to get together today. He said, and you were going to come over. I said, well, no, I know that I wasn't going to come over there because even though we went to school together, coming up and everything else, I still
Right.
wasn't going over to his house. So then I said, no, I know that wasn't it. He said, no, I called you today. He says,
Mhm.
and you didn't even answer the phone. Da 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 da. So then I said, you didn't call me. He said, yes, I did. I called you. I called you twice. So now I'm looking at my phone and I'm looking at the log and everything else, and I'm looking and
Making
see
people
maybe it went
crazy.
straight to voicemail, like I was in a place where it wasn't a signal. None of that
mm-hmm.
stuff. I blocked him right after
Right.
that. I sent him a message, told me he never did call me, and then I blocked him. I
Will
sure
make
Yeah.
up
did.
whole
See.
stories out of like
Yes.
not stories. Will make up whole
Yes.
lies out of
Yes.
nowhere. And you be looking
They
like,
will. And
You.
yeah.
why did you have to lie about that?
I know. I want to ask
Yes.
a question because I
Oh
haven't
my
heard from
God.
Natty
Yes.
tonight. Natty?
I was about to say, like, I had a date on what, Saturday?
Uh-huh.
He was definitely a narc. I got narc vibes from him.
Oh.
Um,
Really?
but can I say I could tell I wasn't gonna like him because I could tell by his text conversation that he was a very needy person and he needs a lot of
Mm.
attention. And I'm
Like
not a
what?
place,
What?
just texting me all day like, oh my
Mm.
God, I'ma show you the
Mm.
world. I'ma
Oh my God. Yes.
I'm
Yes.
telling
Oh,
you, I'ma do the
yep,
best thing.
Yes.
yep.
And so
That's
it made
true.
me fall back or whatever. And
Uh-huh.
so then
Yeah.
it was like the self doubt, like, oh, if you still want to go out. And I said, look, one thing you will learn about me, I'm a straight up person. So, like, if I don't want to do something, I'm going to
Right.
just say that, like, because I'm not going to do anything I don't want to do. I say, look, I told you I'm willing to get to know you, you know?
Right.
And so then he's
Right.
just like, oh, can I pick you up? And I was like, no, because I don't want him to know where I live. Because he clingy already, you know? I don't need nobody just showing up to my house and stuff.
Mm-mm.
And so we go out to dinner, and I just let him know, like I'm really busy, like I really had to like make time for you. But
Right.
everything he said was sexual, like, oh my God, you're so gorgeous, you look good for your age. It was all aesthetic, like,
Yeah.
No,
Mm.
no
yeah.
type
I
of
was like, yeah,
insulation for conversation.
Mm-mm.
and it's just like he was an only child. He's this reformed gangster. I'm like, oh my God. At least I got a good meal.
Well, let me ask
Exit
you this,
stage
lady.
left.
So,
Whatever. But
let me
but
ask you this and go around the
I
table.
go ahead,
Let
sis.
me.
Huh?
I want to go around the table and ask you ladies this because the reason why she said she did this video is because she said if she could help one person. So
Right.
with everything that you guys heard, your experience and your knowledge, what would you say to a young lady or any woman? And it could be a sister or a mister, because it knocks out both on both sides.
That's
You
true.
know,
Hmm.
what do they need to know?
Mm-hmm.
How can they prevent it? How to escape? Let's go with you, Regina, since you're right next to me.
I would say this first of all, to prevent it. Anytime these people are out here, well, when I say these people, I mean single people. When you're out here and you're dating, and if the first conversations are what they're
Right.
going to offer to you, that I would say is going to be the number one red flag. Because anybody that's going to off the jump say, I'm going to buy you a
Right.
new car, I'm going to give you this life, I'm going to help you with all of this. And if it's money, 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 then know
Mm-hmm.
that the relationship is not about what they want from you. It's the lies that they're trying to get to you. And then think, if they
Mm.
have all of that to offer,
Mm-hmm.
why are they still single?
Hmm.
Why are they still
Yeah, now
single?
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Because my mama used
Mm-hmm.
to say that too,
That's
though, man.
another red flag.
Because I would tell my mama, oh, he got this, he got that. She said, well, why he
Why are you
out here?
still single? And why are
That's
you so
right.
special? Why are you so
Right.
special
Right.
that he's
Yes,
coming
she
to
would
you
say
with
that
all
too.
this
Right.
that he has? And so
Yep.
that would be my first concern. To ask that question, why you got all that to offer and you still walking over here single? And then how do you get out of it? You most of y'all may have to pray your way out, because normally if these individuals
Oh
are
yes.
narcissists, they once they got you, they're like the worst gang. They don't want to let you out. And
Let me ask you
so
a question,
Yeah.
though. Let
mhm,
me go back to what you said. So you said you
yeah.
need to ask these questions. Now, are you asking these questions of yourself, or would this be an actual question you would ask him?
Well, if the first
If he's
conversation
so
that we're
good,
going
why
out
you
on
out
a date,
here?
let's say like Naughty, she went out on a date, and let's say the first thing, like she said, she said in the conversation, the guy was like, he's telling her all this stuff I'm gonna do for you. I'm gonna give you the world. I'm gonna give you the world. To me, I'm like, no, no, no.
I don't
I
need
would
that
not want.
though. You're not asking me what I
Mm-hmm.
need.
No,
You're just
I don't want that, because
yeah.
my thought is really, you gonna give me the whole world. And what are you doing? Why is that your first conversation? When I met my husband, our first conversation was, I'm having this divorce. I have nothing. She is
Right.
trying to take me for everything, and I have nothing. That was our
Mhm.
conversation. And
Mhm.
showed the proof. That's what it was. It had nothing. All he had was what he had. But his thing wasn't even, I don't even want to have a relationship. I just need to have a friend that I can talk to. That was the
Right.
conversation we had. I'm going through this. I need just need somebody I can talk to. And let me tell you, within that first 2 weeks of us even being friends, I met his mama, his auntie, his other auntie,
Mhm.
the uncles, the brothers, the
Mhm.
sisters. I knew his address. I went to his job, knew where he worked, confirmed he worked there.
Mhm.
I knew the gym member that he was, went to the gym and confirmed he was working out there. I saw every card in his wallet, was able to verify his name was actually his name. So you learned that in the first couple of weeks. Well, I did anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Right.
I did. And
Ain't
he
nothing wrong with that.
never had the conversation with me. I'm gonna give you this and I'm gonna give you that and I'm gonna
And
give you
that's
the
what
world
they
and I'm gonna
do.
give you all that. His conversation was, I got to get up and go to work tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. Those were his
Mhm.
conversations. I got to
Right.
take this ring over here to the pawn shop because I don't have any money because I'm going through this divorce. I got to take this over to the pawn shop and get this and take care of this or sell this or whatever. Those were the conversations we had. But if you don't see the proof, then you need to ask yourself, what am I getting into? And ask yourself the question
Right.
before you get into it, so you're not like this young lady that had to ask herself after she got out of it. Ask
Right.
Mhm.
yourself those questions before. And the main thing I would say, Kim, if you ain't meeting a real relative that can really pull you to the
That's
to
the
the
that's a
table and
red
say
flag. Yep.
listen, are you sure you want to be with this guy? Are
Mm-hmm.
you sure? And watch the people when you around the people. If you around a so-called family member and they looking at you and looking at him and looking at you and looking at him, something wrong. Because they probably looking at
Mhm.
you like, oh no, this is another one you about to get. You got to watch the body language. I
Mhm.
was taught body language also. I was taught that when I was in school. Watch the body language because the body
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
language will say more than the words will say.
That's true.
No, so that's my thought on be careful out there. I'm praying for all these single people out there, really, because there's a lot going on. And
Yes.
another thing, if you're not coming true for yourself, if you're not coming in true form, then probably what you coming is what you're gonna get.
No,
So
that's
if
that's
Ah.
you're
true. That
if
is
you're not
Say
true.
that
coming in
again.
true
Say
form,
that
Yep.
again
yeah,
now.
that's right. If you're not coming in true form, then the way you coming is what you gonna get. So
Yep.
you
Uh-huh.
yourself sometime are what you're attracting.
Yep.
Oh, I see what you're saying now.
So be careful with what you're presenting as well.
Right.
And make
Mm-hmm.
sure
Right.
that you coming in truth so that truth will find you.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
That's
thoughts
true.
on it. I'm praying for all y'all
I
single
love
people
it.
out there. I want y'all to all
Yeah.
have a happy, loving relationship like my man.
Yes.
And my man has built up. We ain't have to pawn nothing no more. Thank God, praise Jesus, because we got
That's
our
what I'm talking about.
Oh
we
yeah, because
praising
they got
Jesus
y'all got an
and we
empire
doing
over
stuff
there.
right.
You got an
It's
empire
an
over there.
empire. Come on now.
That's
Come on.
right.
And God at the throne. Come on now.
There you go. And
All
ain't that the
right.
truth?
All right.
Amen on that. Now, I'm gonna go over to in my opinion. In my opinion, she on mute.
There
Oh.
she goes.
Okay, so in the daytime of this internet that we call Beyonce's internet, or some of these people call it Beyonce internet, use
Mm-hmm.
it. I'm gonna tell you to use it. Okay, I am a digging snoof. Okay, let me tell
Uh-huh.
you, whenever somebody in my family say they dating somebody, by the end of the night, I know everything about them. Okay,
Are
you
you
ain't got to
serious?
tell me. Give me a name, a city, and a state. Okay, I'm gonna find out everything on this mofo. Okay, I'm telling you. I sit here and listen to my grown babies, and I be like, so where they from again? Oh, okay. I done found out they Facebook friends, everything. I know they mama, they aunties, everything. Social media plays a big part because most of these people are on social media. Some form of
Mhm.
fashion, you on social media.
Mhm.
In some form of fashion, somebody's connected to you and they always talking. So you gotta be careful with who they hang with too. Because that'll tell you a lot about this person. If they hang with a lot of people that's doing some malicious things, best believe they doing
Mhm.
malicious things too. They hang
True.
with a whole bunch of people that's looking at naked women and everything. 9 times out of 10, they doing the same thing. So you can find out a
Mhm.
lot about people from the social media. Do a background check too. I'm telling y'all. I have never heard so many horror stories. I'm glad I'm not dating in this time, baby. I'm glad. I told my husband the other day, I said, baby, Death gonna have to take you up out of here. I ain't let you go. I'm
No,
about to take you out myself. I refuse to
Oh
start
yeah,
over.
that's right.
I don't know what, baby. I'm gonna
Right.
tell y'all to stay encouraged and keep God first too. Let me tell you something, cause I'm telling you, God was
Right.
sending her. God was sending her that boat. She just didn't get on board. When she caught that flat tire, that would have been a sign to me.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yes.
My mom always told me, be careful of
Latoya
those
said that
warning
too.
signs.
Mhm.
the
My mom
warning
used
sign.
Yep.
to tell me, she was like, when something is happening, all of a sudden everything is falling apart, it's something wrong. Okay.
Mhm.
And Lord is trying to tell you to get it right. So if she
Yep.
ran through all these problems just getting to him, I would have took it as a
Mhm.
sign.
Yeah.
You're right, in my opinion. You are absolutely right. Child, the tire
Yeah.
done broke, the car done stopped. Even the car said they ain't going. There's a parable in the Bible where the donkey wouldn't move. And the prophet on the donkey kicking a
Mhm.
donkey and say, come on and move. And the donkey was no, I ain't moving, I ain't moving. Because he did
Right.
not see the problem that was in front of him. And the donkey, God had to make the donkey speak. To say, don't
Yes.
you see that angel in front of me? I can't move. I can't move.
Oh.
So some of these
Mhm.
things that be happening, y'all be like, oh man, it's the devil trying to stop me. No, sometimes it's God. It's God.
It's God.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
Yes, it is.
God.
Mhm.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
Well, now I'm going to go
Yes,
down to
that's right.
Latoya because Latoya says that she got a legion. So, what if you got a legion? Then you don't deal with this firsthand. So, what would you tell somebody then,
She got a
Latoya?
Waldo. She got a
Oh,
Waldo.
she,
She
Yes, I
she
got a
already knows
Waldo.
she got a
Yeah, she said
Waldo.
Waldo.
Waldo is like a
Yeah.
legion.
mm,
Um, First thing would be trust your instinct.
yes.
If your gut is telling you something ain't right, something ain't right. Number one. Number
Right.
two, pay attention to how they treat others when you're around them. That
Mm.
speaks to, pay attention to how they react to things, whether it's stress, pressure, not getting their way. Like pay attention to those things because it'll show you how they are going to react to those same
Mhm.
situations with you.
Mm.
Um, all this is a lesson that I learned that I know God put me through this and sent me through this for a reason, and I
Okay.
appreciate the lessons in it. I'm not bitter. I'm
Mm.
not sad. I'm ready to get my life back, but
Mhm.
I'm appreciative of what I went through. And just to give y'all just a little small backstory, during this whole process, all of this happened
Mhm.
within in a span of 3 years. That's us getting engaged, getting married, filing for divorce. Within a
Oh,
span of 3 years. Also within those 3 years, it was COVID. I had spine surgery. I was out of work for 2 years. And he waited until
really?
I got to my lowest point, which was when I went out of work to unmask himself.
Mm.
No.
And when he unmasked himself, he took the complete mask off. And
That's
it was so
because
bad
Mhm.
to
you
where I was on the verge of having a nervous breakdown and going through the motions. And in the midst of this is when I found Regina.
mhm.
And
Ah, praise God.
that's why people have heard me say, and I'll say it from now to the end of time, the Juice Radio and Talk Show saved my life.
All
Mm.
right.
I can believe that because
That's
she got a word for
wonderful.
you, honey. She got a word.
Regina
Thank
always
you.
I
got a word for you.
Yeah,
I
and
just
I
have
love
I
the
don't
way that
know
her word is not
yes.
judgmental.
I don't know how I came across her channel, but I did, and she's been stuck with me ever since that day.
And I
So
love
Literally
that.
I just want to
since
unpack that a
that
little
day.
bit. Latoya, I want to unpack that. So you said you came across her. So can you remember? If you don't remember what she said, can you remember how it made you feel that you said, okay,
No, I
you said,
remember exactly what the subject was. I can tell you
okay,
exactly what
tell
she
us.
was talking about. She was
Uh,
talking about trusting yourself, forgiving yourself.
oh, yeah.
Um,
Mm.
even though you may be going through things and you may feel like it's your fault. It's not your fault. God took you through it for a reason. People are in your life for a reason, seasons,
Oh, that probably spoke to
and,
you.
and
You
for a
you
life.
really spoke to you.
Yes, I'm telling
And
you. I think I sent her like 3 super chats that night, and I've been
you was
stuck with
like,
her ever
was
since.
she in your backyard or something? You must have been like, she must have been in my backyard.
Thank you, Latoya. Thank you so much. I
Yes,
appreciate that. That's what we want to do here at the Juice. We want to have fun, but we also want to impact in a positive way. And I love it. Something else
Right.
Latoya
Right.
said, something else Latoya said I want to hit on, then I'll turn it back to you, Kim, if that's okay.
Oh, that's
Um,
fine.
Latoya said this about her situation. She said she was fine, and then when she got sick, and then she was not at the same position or same time place. That's when he turned on. That's when he exposed
And they'll
himself, and
turn. Yes,
that's
they
what will
will.
happen in a lot of these situations when
Yep.
they are reliant on you. They will keep the covers on. When you now have to be reliant on them, that's when
Mm-hmm.
they will remove the covers. Because when they
Mhm.
remove the covers,
Yep.
that's them showing their power. As long as you're providing for them and supplying for them, they would keep the covers on and try to stay in that covered mode.
That's
But once
right.
they are
That's
now
right.
dependent upon you, when you're now dependent upon them, I mean, that's when they expose who they are, because that's them
Right.
saying, I now have the power. Think of it this way, like with Superman, he kept it covered. He was always a meek person and all that. You didn't see his powers. But then when the people needed Superman is when he took the cape off and exposed who he was. So
Mm-hmm.
Right.
that's the same thing
Mm-hmm.
that happens in these situations. And that's what happened with her.
That's
He
true.
waited until she was vulnerable and needing and couldn't tell him no like she probably wanted to.
And
And that's
Right.
what
also,
they try to break
and
you.
yeah, and also because what was going on was not about him. It was about me. So
Right.
because it wasn't
Right.
about him,
Yeah.
he didn't have time for that. He didn't want to be bothered with that.
Right.
But
That's
outside of the
true.
Oh, you mean
house,
because he was sick?
outside of the house, out in
Yeah.
public, oh, he's a loving husband and you're the one,
Oh
this, that, and
yes.
the other. But
100%.
then when you go in
Yes.
the house, but when you clock out from that job and go in the house, you don't even speak to your wife who is debilitated
Mm-hmm.
to where she can't even take care of herself. Like
That's it.
my son Justin, that's why I said I know God sent that child in my life for a reason. He's
Mm-hmm.
always, you have multiple children, but it's always that one that is just something about them that is just
Right. Yes.
like, and he's that one. And if it was not for my child, I don't know where I would be. My child had to help take care of me. My child
Mm-hmm.
had to help me nurse me back to health when I had my spine surgery, and it affected him mentally, and I had to put him in therapy because he was angry because it's like, Mom, this is your
Yeah.
husband, but he acts like he doesn't even care anything about you. So it
Mm-hmm.
was really, really bad. But on a positive note, my divorce mediation is March 7th. My brand new house will be finished in May. So
All
it's
right.
onward and
Ain't God
upward,
good?
Look at
So
God.
yeah, but
That's
I will just say, like, I'm thankful for panels and ladies like you all because I wish there was something like this years ago because like I said, you don't know, you don't know. And I didn't know anything about
right.
narcissism until I started going through this. And what put me onto narcissism, I was looking at Red Table Talk. Dr. Romney was on there and she was
Oh
describing
yes.
what was,
Yeah.
and I was like, that is my husband. And I started
Mm-hmm.
looking at her YouTube channel and I
Yeah.
gained knowledge and started learning about what it was. And when you start learning about what they are and who they are and that they will never
Mm-hmm.
change, it gives you another aspect
Never.
on it. Like she dives deep into why they do the things they do, why they say the things that they
Right.
say, like different categories, money, relationship, kids,
Mm-hmm.
parents, intimacy, everything.
Mm-hmm.
She breaks down every little thing in every situation. And
Right.
that brought it opened my eyes and it's like, okay, so I'm not crazy. It's not me. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with
Right.
me.
Right.
Yep.
So I'm
Oh,
thankful
well,
that you all
I'm
are
so
doing this
glad to
because
hear that,
it helps people
Toya.
know about it and know the signs and it helps for younger like people that were younger than me at my age at the time know that okay, if she said this and this is what I need to look for, wait a minute. He
Uh-huh.
is doing this. Maybe I need to put my third eye on this. So I'm thankful that y'all are doing this.
Well,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
girl.
Toya, and I
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that. That was some deep stuff.
Mhm.
I thank you. You know, we talk all the time. You never know what people are going through. Now,
Mhm.
Nadi, what's your take?
Right.
Yeah, let's just say, oh boy, not getting a second date.
So you're not getting a second date. Well, let's talk about oh boy though. How did y'all end the day?
I mean, it was nice. Like he
Where'd y'all
insisted on
go?
dropping me back, huh?
Where'd you guys go?
To an African restaurant. Well, the original restaurant had like an hour wait, and so we
Okay.
had to switch
First
it.
sign, Naughty. First sign.
What's the first
Yes,
sign?
that was a red flag. And so then afterwards, he was like, "Well, can I drive you back to your car?" Because he had like parked in the lot, and I wasn't. You know me, I'm cheap. I ain't paying no $25. So, but the whole thing is, he wanted me to see his car. That's his panty dropper.
Mm-hmm.
But like, okay, you got a nice Beamer, but guess what? So do I. Okay.
Right. Thank you.
Or whatever. But I done had my share. I was married to a narcissist, so like I could smell out the signs right away. And I think the important things is ladies need to take their time and don't rush
Mm-hmm.
the situation.
Mm-hmm.
If a man is in a rush, that's first signs of love bombing. Because what are you in a rush for? You'll
Mm-hmm.
take your time to get to know me. I mean, there's a lot that I need to learn, and that's one of the things I didn't like about this guy. I just felt like he was trying to rush things for his own benefit, and I'm like, I'm never going to put myself in a position where we're like one on one. I'm not going to your house, nothing like that. And he even said one of his friends, he told him like, yeah, she said she's gonna meet me at the place, and he said she's smart. And he said, why? He's like, cause if the date is bad, she out of there, bro. and that's exactly what it was. I was like, thanks for the meal or whatever. And I kept it moving. Afterwards, I just drove up to go see Buck. Thank God for friends like Buck. I think everybody need a friend like Buck.
They do need a
Okay.
friend like Buck.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, I need Buck on this on one of our situations on one of these shows. We're talking about these men and women getting together. But so how
But
did you all just end it after you ate dinner? You was like, that's it?
no,
Did
I
he
was
say
like,
I'm gonna
peace.
call
And I
you?
drove up. I drove up to Buck's house, and we had a good old time because me and Buck Chow were friends or whatever. The
Oh
first
yeah.
thing he said, I told you don't need no boyfriend. He said, F these busters or whatever. But I would just say the main thing is, ladies, take your time so that you can have time to fact check these gentlemen and really see who they are. You got to remember, they're presenting their representative at first. You won't really
Mhm.
know who they are until you get like a few weeks to a month in. You know what I mean? And like
Mhm.
Regina said, you should be able to meet the family after a certain amount of time. You should be able to see what his situation is. And he's not going to be promising you the world. One thing I can't stand, I do not operate off of empty promises. If you're going to do
Mhm.
something, just do it.
Oh my God, no.
Period. You
Yes,
don't even
didn't.
gotta
Mhm.
tell
Yep.
me. If you want to do something,
Right.
just do it. I'm not gonna operate off of
Right.
empty promises. But I think the main thing is, ladies, we gotta start putting our love for ourselves before these men.
That's right.
Right.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Before these men, and that's one, and that's why
Yes.
I think I was able to keep a cool head through the situation. Like, although I seen like red flags, and he was telling me certain things, and I'm like, I don't got time for this. Not at this
Mhm.
point in my life. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
I'm just not looking for a project. I'm not looking for somebody that's too needy. And I think you need to love on yourself so you know clearly what you want and expect out of a relationship.
Right.
So you'll reject anything that doesn't fit that mold right
Mm.
away.
That's true.
But yeah,
Yeah.
oh boy, don't get a second date from me. No, thank
Uh-huh.
you.
Period. Okay, now Sandra.
I'll throw him back.
You said period. And Sandra, what's your take on it? What would you say?
Well, I can piggyback off of everybody's what they said, and I can
Hmm.
add also that know yourself, love yourself, be
Hmm.
strong, and for the young women and some of the older women too. Just because he said he has this and that. So what? I'm a true believer. I'm happy for the things you have, but I don't get
Mm-hmm.
excited for the things you have. Because at the end of the day, it's yours. And when you don't want to share, you can pick your toy up and take it somewhere
Mm-hmm.
else. So you
Mm,
can't bait me in with things. My ex narc was trips because
Mm-hmm.
I travel. And I explained it to him. I was like, I traveled before COVID. This not it's not exciting to me because you promising me to take me here and there. I did this before COVID. So you're not giving me anything that I can't give myself. And then
Mm-hmm.
I'm a strong, independent, opinionated woman. So
okay.
if I think you're lying, I'm gonna call you out on your lie. And a narcissist can't help that. So Kim, you know what, every 6 months I'd be like, oh Lord, he's talking at me and I'm talking at him again, and he got mad. And when would get mad at me, he would stop calling me, texting me. He wouldn't respond to a text. I might text and say, well, do you know this? He wouldn't respond like that. I'm like, okay, so here we go. No, I'm not doing this. This is too much energy. And then I don't, everyone I believe have this gift, but I have a gift of discerning spirit. God shows
Okay.
me visions and dreams. I had dreams about
Mm-hmm.
him. And I would come to him and tell him this. Oh no, you just looking at social media. You take up no babe, no, no. I've been doing this since I was a child. And I even had my oldest daughter who also has the gift. And she said, no, this is the gift we have. And if she tells you she dreamt something about you, she's telling you the truth. So you need to listen. And he was just always, no, 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 you're wrong. So I'm like, this is too much energy. I'm not arguing anymore. I know what the truth is. So I just say all that to say,
Mm-hmm.
young ladies, know yourself. Know who
That's
you are. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and like Regina said, God. God is going to send you that person. And you will know him. You will know that's the person. If you've been praying and
Mm-hmm.
asking, and my prayer was always, it still is, Lord, prepare me, have me ready for the man that you want in my life. So I know I'm ready. And when he's ready to send that guy, he's going to send that guy to me and stuff. And it's not
Mm-hmm.
gonna be somebody I gotta argue with. I gotta defend my beliefs and different things because he doesn't believe in the spiritual divine. He doesn't believe in stuff like that. But yet he's on social media telling everybody he does. So now I just sit back and laugh because it's funny to me because you're gonna have those flying monkeys
Oop.
coming, believing you, and that's what they are when they.
You
Because
better
if
speak
you see
back,
something that you know ain't true and you believe they, huh?
you
What'd
better
you
speak
say?
back, Cassandra.
Yeah, because that's what that's what they are. I've told him if I went to school for my master's in counseling, I keep telling him, I mean, I know what I'm talking about. Do I need to
Yes.
put a book out? But it's all good, and God do allow certain things in your life for certain reasons. And I think the main reason was why He allowed that not in my life because I keep trying to heal everybody, and
There you
that's
go.
not my place to
Hmm.
try to heal
Mm.
everybody. And it
You
took me till I got in my 60s to realize that, because people will suck you dry on your energy. And
Yeah.
it's not my place to heal everybody. And like I told him, all I can do for you at this point is to pray for you and refer you to a therapist. That's all I can do because I can't be your therapist. And I'm going to pray for you because that's just Christian in me. But I'm going to watch karma do its stuff too. Okay?
Right.
Because there's karma.
Cassandra, I
you
call them
know,
energy vampires.
yes.
And be detailed when you praying to God too, cause He answers.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
yes, and when he does, just sit back. People say, "Well, don't you pray and ask God to be soft on him?" No, no, no. I ask God to handle it the way He want to handle it, and I sit back. I'm not mad. I ain't laughing, but I just sit back and watch God and let Him handle it. And to me, that is
Mm-hmm.
karma. What will
Mhm.
happen here on this earth? What you did, you're gonna reap what you sow. And
That's
I've
good.
watched him reap what he sowed, but he'll say, "Oh, that was just something happened." Okay,
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if
okay.
you feel
So
And
like
one
you
young
thing
have
ladies,
I
to
just be
walk on
careful.
one thing I like
it,
that she said is God will bring the person in your life
Yeah.
when it's time. And
Yes.
I'm really think I'm at that place, like, you know, This guy asked me out. I went out random, but God was in my spirit. I knew it wasn't right. I was using my logical
Mm-hmm.
mind. I wasn't thinking with
Mm-hmm.
my heart, and I
Right.
don't mind being
Yeah.
alone. I don't mind. I'm a happy single girl, okay? Like I live
Mm-hmm.
my best
Mm-hmm.
life or whatever. And I just really feel like when it's time for me to settle down, he's gonna show me the signs. I'm just letting his
Yes.
spirit guide me. And I'm just really, really sitting comfortable with that.
Well,
Mhm.
just for me to
Yeah.
give my piece on that, when Latoya was talking, I almost forgot about my ex-husband, and I had went on disability, but I had a whole lot of issues, and I was a young girl. But first of all, I was immature. I wanted to get out of my parents' house. Okay, so that was the wrong thing. And then I was listening to my mama, and my mama was telling me, hold on one second, y'all. This is my kid. Hey, sweetie, I'm gonna call you right back when I finish up with the show. Okay, bye bye. So mama was telling me, oh, you should get off the birth control pill because such and such had a long time they had to get pregnant and everything because they was on the birth control pill. You should get off of it. And I should have known if a peen came near me, I was gonna get pregnant. Okay, that's exactly what happened. All right,
Oh
it did. Again, but I was already engaged. But when I was already engaged, had the ring and everything, right? Nice solitaire, 25 years old. And then he asked me, how does that happen? And so I said, listen, mofo, you was there. What the heck you mean how it happened? You know what I mean? So anyway, we had broke up and then we got back together and everything. And then when we got married, he just wanted to control everything with me. He was clingy, like Nadi said about being clingy. He was clingy all on me and everything else. And any place I went, he was always trying to call and find out. So I had went on leave, but I went on leave for it was emotional and mental leave because
Oh, wow.
I got married for the wrong reason. I also
Mm.
got married for his potential. I was not happy, and I realized that I made a grave mistake and I wasn't looking out for myself.
Mm.
So he had convinced me to take money out of my 401k because we were having this, that, and the other. Um and he says you put it in so we can have more money. We're gonna do something or whatever. And I put my money in there, and that sucker took all of my money in our account and paid off all the bills. I wasn't working and cut off everything and left. And how I saw him leaving one day, I was picking up my baby from school because she was just 3 years old. And then I saw her raising her head, looking up. I said, sit down, baby, don't get up out of the seat. She just kept looking. I'm like, she usually been so
yeah.
very obedient. So I'm looking to see what she was looking at. She saw her daddy with all our stuff packed in there. Now, my baby likes Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Okay. He had even taken her
Mm.
videotape. He wanted to make it hard on me. He took the mop, the broom, the vacuum cleaner. He took everything.
Wow.
And so he left me there and I had no job at that time, but just my disability, and that's just a portion. And then whatever. So then I thought about it and I thought about it. And I didn't want to go back home to my mother because me and my mama didn't have the best relationships at all. And then she wanted me to stay there with them because, although I'm glad my mother and father stayed together all these years, but when they was coming up, I used to wish that sometimes they would not be together. Okay. But she wanted me to be in
Mm.
and go through that like that. And I'm from a different school of thought. I wasn't gonna stay through anything.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So I said I had to leave and everything. So I said, so he tried to get back because what he really wanted to do is teach me a lesson. He wanted to break me down so that then I would
That's what
just
they want to
finally,
do.
yeah. So then I would say, oh, you the only thing I got. I'll do whatever you want me to do. And I was just like, if you did me like that, did my baby like that, you got to go.
Mm.
Okay.
Right.
Because I can't lay down and turn my back to you and close my eyes every
Mm-mm.
night knowing
Mm-mm.
I can't trust you.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
And I
Mm-mm.
said you could never
Mm-mm.
hold a good woman down.
Mm-mm.
So it's been a struggle to get. It was a struggle with being a divorcee and all the rest of that stuff, and the mindset and how I wanted to raise my daughter, like with a private school education, and all the rest of it. But I did it all, and I did it on my own.
All
With a
right.
little bit of
Right.
pittance that he
Amen.
gave me for child
Yeah.
support. So I know it's almost like a deeper version. If I have anybody trying to control me or you trying to tell me something other than what I
Mm-hmm.
think, it's almost like
Mm-hmm.
my senses it's like my spidey senses are highly attuned to that kind of thing.
Yes.
Manipulation, people trying to gaslight you, trying to do that love bombing, just like when that girl said
Mm-hmm.
that he had that record on about you want to be my wife. Now all of a sudden you gonna put
Yeah.
that in there. You know what I mean? I thought that was
They
cheesy.
use
Now,
music. They use
yes,
music too.
yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
They use music. Now, Viola Smith, they got this thing called Cute Couples. It's like a social media thing, right? They did
Mhm.
Jill and Joe Biden, but they happen to find, so they just go down the street, they see people, and they actually interview regular people, but this time they were doing some celebrities. So they asked Viola and her husband, Viola Davis and
Mhm.
her husband. So Viola Davis' husband, they was like, "Well, how long have you all been together?" And they said, "Oh, we've been together all these many years." And her husband over there cheesy and everything. So then they were like, "Well, what is it that made you guys' relationship have such longevity?" And
Right.
so then
Mm-hmm.
it was somebody that was doing a duet on TikTok. So she stopped it. She says,
Mm-hmm.
"You see Viola's face? That's when a black woman getting ready to tell you something other than what you think she's gonna tell you." So her husband was just smiling and looking because he thought she was gonna do all this validation and laudation on him and her. And she was like, "I'm gonna tell you what makes." She said, "It's love of oneself." Okay. She said,
Mhm.
"Because you can't love anybody until you first love yourself." She
That's
said, and
so
again,
true.
loving yourself is to love everything about you. It's to look
Mhm.
inward, to
Mhm.
find out where you need the help at. Where is your strengths? What are your
Right.
weaknesses? To work on those things, to cultivate your weaknesses so then they can become your strengths. She
Come
said, now
on.
this is for any kind of relationship. I don't care what ship it's on. It could be a friendship, it could be a work relationship, it could be a daughter, a son, or a husband, because nobody can love you unless you first love yourself. Because what's going to happen
Mm-hmm.
is that you're going to go to that person and ask that person to validate you for who you are so that you can feel happy and good about yourself. It doesn't happen that way.
Mm-mm.
She said it just
Mm-mm.
doesn't. So as she was explaining to her husband, then he started recognizing that it really wasn't going to be about them. And so he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, oh, all right," But it was funny to see them because he was just all like, little chest was sticking out there a little bit. And then, and not that he was upset with her, but, it just took a turn that he hadn't expected. But she
Right.
said, so yeah, so if I want to tell you
Yes.
about what
Mm-hmm.
made our relationship strong, is that because I love myself first. I
Right.
knew who I
Right.
was. I
Right.
knew what I was bringing to a relationship. I knew what I wanted from another person. So this way, when I
Mm-hmm.
came in contact with that individual, I knew who was either for me or who wasn't for me. She says, and I
Mhm.
didn't waste any time on that
Right.
because I love myself enough to know what I wanted. She said, so I'm not
Mhm.
going to expend my time on something that is useless or frivolous and not worth my time.
Yeah,
She
that's
said,
Right.
because I'm focused
yes.
on what I need to empower me. And that's what I say to other
Right.
people.
Come on, girl. You better
Yes.
come through,
All
Kim.
right now.
And that's it. So when it comes
Yes.
down to me, I am so now, I've talked to people and I said, well, I'm just waiting and everything. Hey, you ain't gotta wait. You should get out there and all the rest of that. No, I am gonna wait. Okay. I'm gonna wait because there's some things that I want for Kim. My
Yeah.
life has
Yeah.
been where I have been a divorcee, okay, and I raised my kid
Right.
by myself because he was not a
Right.
participatory parent. Then she had to go to college, so she's still in college, okay, on her doctor's degree. But I
Right.
worked up to that master's, so that was a good 8, 9 years, okay, because she was
Right.
5 years undergrad, about 3, 4 years grad, okay. So then after that, then it was my parents, me being there for them.
Mhm.
Then they passed along, and then I got sick behind that because I'm just working and being there for everybody. I wasn't there for myself.
Right.
So in
Right.
essence, when people tell me that, oh, you can do it and whatever, I haven't been for Kim. I was a mother.
You.
I already got my kids to
Yes,
school. I
girl.
raised her. I got her
Yeah.
through her doctor's degree. Well, not her doctor. She's working on that her own self. But by the time she went to go to her doctor's degree, who I had help with my mother and them because I have a sister, but she really wasn't there. She only living 3 hours away, but she only visited 3 or 4
Mm-hmm.
times a year. You know, if it was me, I would have been there every month or every other month at least. So it was always there. I always held myself aside from my parents because at that time I worked a job, I was sold cars. So I worked a job that worked me 50 to 60 hours, walking lots, running cars, and all the rest. It was a physical job.
Right,
Even
right.
if you just sit down, it wasn't. So then after my parents and them died, and then my mom died, and my dad was inconsolable, you know. And then at that time, it
Yeah.
was so much on me. I have never ever been able to really, you know, just sit down and take care of Kim and cultivate Kim. Then I had
Yep.
got sick,
Have to.
right? So then I'm working on not getting sick. And so then my father passes. So then, you know, he passes. We got the whole house situation. So I'm running again because my sister's in Ohio and she does have a young kid. So I said, well, you know, I'll just do all this stuff here. But it wasn't ever easy dealing with her. And then it was a whole lot of family fallout. So I pushed all them
Yeah.
people aside because I couldn't deal with it, right? So now I fell sick again. But now I said, well, I was laying in that bed, and after my father after we got finished with the house, and I laid in that bed, I was off work. I just prayed to God. I was like, God, you know, da 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 da. And God healed me in that space. He healed me
Come
emotionally,
on now.
physically, and mentally. I laid in that bed and I
He
couldn't go nowhere.
will. Yes, he
Talked to me
will.
and we talked and we talked and we talked. And I had this one young lady, she was telling me, a friend of mine, which I love her to death, but you can't talk to certain people because they always want to
Mm-mm.
talk to you like
No,
how
baby.
you're supposed to be. Okay. Now, God, you
Right,
know, you
right.
don't tell me nothing. And when I'm telling you what God telling me, and you're gonna tell me, no, that's not, you don't know him. He made me.
Oh,
Okay. And I
oh.
know when you're talking to me. So
All
Yeah.
God
right
got
now.
me together, honey, and I have accomplished so much in that time. You know, I was worried about work and everything. And because I had 3 or 4 months, because actually, when I first started this job, I haven't had a time where I haven't had 3 or 4 months off. Any other job, I would have been fired. So even with those 4 months out, I came out of the when my manager he sent me my stats for my evaluation. I made 118% of my goal. That was God. That was
All
4 months.
right. That was
I didn't
nobody
even have
but.
to do what I needed to do
Amen.
during the annual enrollment because I was trying to buy this condo and I was getting going through a fraud. So still, I still didn't give it all. Still came out with 118%.
There you
Not only
go.
that, you know,
Mhm.
I got the condo, even though I was going through a lot. And then after, at the end of the year, I started even walking better. I don't even need my cane like I used to use it. And I used to couldn't
Lord,
even, I was
that's a
walking around
miracle.
like a 10 man, okay? With 10 man without his can
Mm-hmm.
of oil, okay? Because remember, he didn't do good until he had a can of oil. So when this
Right.
year when this year came and I'm starting to look at everything in my life and how far God has brought me, because I remember our conversations when I was laid up in that bed and I couldn't move anywhere because I felt like I was in quicksand. You know, I even had to get
Mhm.
I've gotten myself out of so many situations because I'm a strong woman and I know that. And I've got this, it is this internal and fortitude and intensity that I have that gets me through this. But at this particular time, I couldn't, and I understand why. Because I needed to be flat on my back, so the only thing I could do was look up and see God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so
Mm-hmm.
these things
Mm-hmm.
still places that He wants to take me, and He's trying to get me there. And then when I get there, then I know He's going to have the rest for me. Because all that when He gets me where I need to be,
Right.
when I'm gonna
Yes.
be at the promised land and all of it's gonna open up. So right now, what
Right.
I'm working for God, like you said, working for God to work on me because I don't want to be one of those people who keep attracting the wrong
The
thing
wrong
because
people.
I'm not
Yes.
right where I am. And I haven't
Right.
had a chance to work on Kim at all, except for
Wow.
this last year and this year. You know what I mean? So a whole year,
Right.
but he's brought me through a whole lot within this year. So, you know,
Yep.
there has been people I have Shay, I love you too. I will send you my phone number, but it's been so much that people
Yes.
have to know and have to get through because in those times
Mm-hmm.
where, I was wanting comfort and I was wanting love because when I was laying in that bed, I wanted comfort and I wanted love. But God
Mm-hmm.
where I couldn't walk I'm gonna be bad now for a minute. I couldn't walk and I couldn't move these legs up. I couldn't move my shoulder. I couldn't open them. So anyway, he made sure that nothing happened until he was
Gina.
ready. Gonna make sure nothing was gonna happen until he was ready. But anyway, so
Right.
I'm just but I got my comfort from him. And
Mhm.
it was one
Mm-hmm.
guy that, I really did care about, but I felt like, and we're still good friends to this day. But even when he was going through, I could see what he was going through. But when I was going through, he didn't couldn't see what I was going through, and I'm not dealing
Right.
with that anymore. I need somebody
Mm-mm.
in tune with me.
Emotionally unavailable people. I don't have time.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I mean? But I was
Yeah.
available when thank you, Crystal. But when, so when it comes down to those things and everything, everybody has to look at. Now, I don't want to say that I'm closed off, but I am going to say I look at stuff with a jaundiced eye. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because my spirit tells me first. Okay, because I
It
rely on my
does.
spirit. I pray, I
Yep.
meditate, every day. And I ask God to give me the wisdom. And I'm going to tell you, since all this time, and I've been talking to him, my intuition level has gone up so high.
Oh,
Okay.
amen. All right now.
And so I feel
Yeah.
it. I'm going to tell you how deep I feel it. How deep I feel it is that I have been feeling melancholy for the last couple of days. Oh, and I didn't know why. Just crying, crying, crying. Couldn't understand. I'm scrolling
Mm-hmm.
through Facebook one day, just scrolling through Facebook and realized it was my dad that died that day. Now, my mom
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
had put it
Yeah.
he died the day before and I was crying all that day. When I woke up, I'm still feeling melancholy. But my mind had put it
Mm-hmm.
away because I think your mind does things to protect you. But my
It
spirit
does.
was like, nah, something wrong. And then same thing happened on the day that we laid him to rest. So my spirit and my intuition, has gone so deep now, and I have been so consecrated in having my relationship because a lot of people, and that's what I love about you, Juice, and I love about in my opinion, as it relates to when we talking to you guys speak about the spirit and God, you guys ain't bent to hell bent on religion. You more about the relationship.
Right.
Yes, Lord.
Like
Amen.
A
word in
spiritual
relation.
relationship.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? And that's what matters. So
Mhm. Mhm.
and I'm open and everything, and I'm a flirtatious thing. So I ain't closed off because I'm flirtatious, because I was talking to my Malachi said amen, Auntie Sam. I said thank you because I was talking to my hairstylist, Crystal. She said this chat. She said, "Girl, you walking better." I said, "Girl, I'm almost ready to switch now." I said, "I keep trying to do that. I'm doing that one switch." I said, "But pretty soon I'm gonna be able to switch like what's her name that was in what was that waiting in hell? What was it
Wait,
waiting in hell?
waiting to exhale when she walked away from
Gregory Hines, yeah,
what's her name? She
Gregory
walked away
Hines.
from
Gregory
yeah, the Gregory hat. Yeah.
Hines. I'm be able to move that button in a circle, okay?
See, Kim, you gonna be ready to go on a cruise. Kim, you gonna be ready to go on a cruise with me then. You
Yes, I
ready? Cause we
am.
can
I
go
am,
switch
girl.
at
But I'm
any
still
country
gonna
you
get this knee
want.
done. I'm gonna get this knee done in April though, because I want to be
Yes.
able to drop it low and bring it back up
All
high.
right.
Okay?
Oh,
I
Lord,
know
I
that's
know you
right.
understand
Because I'm be
I
cutting
know
up when
that's
I'm
right. Yeah, we can
yes,
lay those
indeed.
chains to the side.
Yes, indeed. So, ladies,
My
so that's
goodness.
what I say to ladies and everything. Get to know yourself. Have
Yeah.
fun with it.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Have fun with it because when
Yeah.
it comes down to it and everything, you know,
Mm.
it's about, my mama always told me this. She said, when you come into this world, you come by yourself. And when you die, you're going to go by
Mhm.
yourself. She said,
Yes,
so make
Lord.
sure you cultivate yourself first. Okay.
Mhm.
And then when my aunts and them always, and I want to say this too, because some men try to compliment you, like Nani said, my aunts and them used to always tell us how beautiful we are, how beautiful we are. We were
Right.
like 13, 14. We were like, okay, we
Hmm.
know we cute, but we are not that beautiful.
Yes.
Why you keep saying it all the time? She's like, look, I know you're not that cute. Okay.
But I was
But
just looking at him like, tell me something that I don't know. Like, I know I'm
Thank you.
beautiful and
that's
things
right.
like
Yes.
She says, and that's why we tell you
Right.
that we want you because we want you to know that when you look in the mirror tell you that already. So if they tell you that, you tell them the mirror tell me
Right.
that already. Tell me something I don't know. Okay?
Right.
So,
Right. Yes.
You can't be easily flattered by, easily swayed by flattery, too.
Yeah,
Mm.
that stuff doesn't
Right.
impress
That's
me.
it.
Like, I'm
That's
comfortable in
it.
my skin enough to know, like, I don't need you to
Right.
tell me that I'm beautiful because I tell myself I'm beautiful every day. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, and
And
then
Yes.
that's a lot of reason why I started like the vlogging, like live, love, laugh, and opening up my life and just showing my different
Mm-hmm.
experiences. And the one thing I wanted to show, my life is not wrapped up in a man, and I'm still happy.
Mm-mm. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
and
your
you
comfort's
shouldn't
got
be
Yes.
to be in
so.
yourself. Yeah, your comfort's got to be in
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
yourself so that you won't have a problem walking away if you need to walk away from somebody.
Thank you. Yes.
Absolutely. Now, you better say that, and that's the
Yes.
truth.
Thank
I
you,
don't have a
Jude.
problem with that at all. I don't have a problem. And I'm gonna tell you something. This one man that I said this before, okay, but I loved it. That man, okay, I
Mm-hmm.
loved it. Let me take my glasses off.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. That man, okay. But
Love is something
I'm gonna
else.
tell you, he started going down the wrong direction, and I had a daughter, and I didn't like the way his life was turning, and I cut him off. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Ooh, I cried a many nights, okay? But I had to sit in
Mm-hmm.
that pain till it washed over me because I know that
Mm-hmm.
God ain't make nothing last forever and it was going to leave sooner or later.
Yep.
But me
Mm.
and mine are more important than a pair of pants, okay?
You
Now,
got that
my
right.
grandmother, and I learned that
Woo.
from my grandmother, but on the opposite end, because my grandfather, we
Yeah.
used to call him Grandpa until we heard this song, Papa Was a Rolling Stone. And then me and my other two cousins decided that was going to be his new name,
Mm.
Ooh.
okay? Because wherever he laid his hat
Okay.
was. So one time we asked our grandma, no, my cousin asked, we were teenagers then, older teenagers. We had went over there and everything, and we came to visit her, and she was like, Graham, why do you deal with Papa all the time and the way he acts? And she said, let me tell you something right now. She said, as long as I hear that man's feet hit them steps, and it don't matter what time of day or night, I'm fine, and that's all that matters. And she looked
Mm.
at it because her grandmother was very soft smoking and meek woman. But she was kind of stern when she said that. So we knew don't ask her no more. So when she went away, I said, well, I guess we know not to ask her that no more. So all I'm saying
Right.
is some people only need a pair of pants. That's not me. So
Right, right.
anyway,
Mm-mm.
people got to
Yep.
Yes.
recognize that. So I don't want to go on no
Mhm.
diatribe and all the rest of that. She said he was a good man, Savannah. Yes. He was, but
Oh my goodness.
I just want to tell everybody,
Oh,
thanks everyone for coming in and everything, and I appreciate this. Naughty, don't forget to subscribe to Naughty's channel. That's a Naughty Love Movement,
yeah.
in
Y'all
my
have to.
opinion, and also the Juice Radio Show. I
Mhm.
appreciate you ladies for helping me and always supporting me and cultivating things with me. Sandra, my sister, I appreciate you giving your wisdom and your intellect and your insight
Oh, you
as
more than welcome.
I can't tell you how
Anytime I
many
can
times
help.
Sandra up, and I was like, "Girl, okay, now wait a minute. Let me tell you what happened. Now let me tell you this." And sometimes Sandra had to get me together. Come back. Sometimes she had to get me together. We was fine.
You know I'm here. If you
But
need me to pull the books out, I'm here.
so, ladies,
I
until the next
appreciate it.
time, I'm gonna run this my outro and bid you all good night because my kid probably want to tell me something double and extra about her day and her theses.
Okay, now. Thank you, Kim. Thank you for having me also. I really
All right.
enjoyed it and
Yes.
I appreciate the invite. It was fun and educational. And I'm praying for your channel to continue to grow, girl. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your help. Thank you, ladies.
Good night,
Appreciate it.
ladies. Nice
Bye.
meeting you all.
Good night.
Thank you for watching Kim Delivers. I'm so glad you came. Be sure to click that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. This way you never miss out on any of our content. Also, any show ideas, topics, perhaps you may have a product or a business that you would like to share. This is an open and a welcoming platform for all. Send me an email. It's in my description. Well, again, thank you for watching. And until the next time, take care, be safe, and be kind. Toodles. know. Wait a minute.